Louder!
And it's time for the Gore N More podcast.
Gonna have a good time.
Gonna have a good time!
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
We're going on now.
A ball break, walking hand in hand in the moonlight. We'll be the sweet soul there. I swear we'll never part.
We're going on now.
A ball break, running in the sand, feeling alright.
What's up, Gorehounds? Welcome to a very special episode of the Gore N More podcast. I'm your not-so-mean Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing this shit show in. However, I do not bring it in alone. No. I'm gonna fucking restart that again because I just fucked that up. But with me, as always, are my Halloween horror homies. Started off with the masked killer next to me. He is the killing machine, that meat mountain, as we so lovely know him as, Mr. Bobby Amone.
Good evening.
Yeah. And below Bob, we have the daddy, the Dark Lord of Knowledge, the ghost face with the note. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Mr. Chad Chrisman.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Definitely not Scream.
Bitches.
The intro to that one show. And then we also have the host with the ghost, Lord Scuba Cabra, the Duke of the Dead, Mr. Steve Vasquez.
Bon appetit, bitch.
Ready to finger away.
Woohoo! Today is a very special episode because it is Halloween. Woo! And, well, we're not actually here today. We are. But we're actually pre-recording this episode because, well, some of us are out trick-or-treating and the other ones are out having a good fucking time partying it up. So,
Yeah, buddy.
yeah, we're all enjoying the evening. But obviously, the show must go on, and we wanted to do our diligent duty. But because it's a special episode, we wanted to do something special. So we're not reviewing your standard movie like we usually do. No. We're actually going to have a full discussion episode. This is something the boys and I have been talking about for a long time. I'm glad we're personally doing it, and it's going to be great. We also have a video from Brody. We're going to pull that in. And, well, Chad Daddy, you want to tell the gang what we are doing today?
So today, believe it or not, as opposed to our usual Halloween fare of reviewing one of the Halloween movies, we are ranking every single goddamn one of them in order of our own personal preference. Our lists are not going to be identical because we all have our own individual taste, but it's going to be a slobber knocker.
Good
Fuck
old
yeah, dude.
Glock 3000.
Bringing in that WWE, baby.
So-
He's been broken in half.
Now, this is totally like a fly-by-night episode for us. We try to like prep it as good as possible. What we are going to do, seeing Brody was so kind to make a video for us, we're going to actually load him up, which I got him now, and we're going to play him, and we're going to actually follow his suit. I don't know where he started. I don't know if it's the top of the list or the bottom of the list. I don't really give a shit. But we're going to follow Brody's way, and I think it just, I think it'll work with the rest of us. And then obviously we got our other topics after the fact.
I like how John's like, we tried to prep for this. I don't know what he did, but I did not prep. All I did was make my list. I'm like, ready.
Well, I mean,
that was a whole day affair for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it took me 10 seconds.
I definitely like had to step aside and like stop thinking about everything else and like concentrate on it. So I would say that is putting some time in, whether it was 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever.
Here's the funny thing is, I'm sitting here trying to do my list. I'm like, I don't know where I want to throw Halloween 5 on this list.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
watch
was a
Halloween
hard
5.
one.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
so I turned it on.
Well,
I know.
we'll get to that.
I know exactly where mine fits. We'll get to that in a little bit.
All right. So because this is a pre-recorded, we just saw each other a few days ago. We're not actually going to do Slice of Life because I feel like we're going to take up enough of this episode with another, which is a lot more shit. But because we want to hear Scuba Steve's sexy voice, as always, Scuba, if you could please.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween!
Very
Thank you.
nice.
Very nice, Scuba. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So, like Chad Daddy said, we are going to rank this shit. Now, usually we pull Brody up solo. We're going to go a little old school today. We're going to pull him up with us so that we kind of have like a group panel situation going on. And then I'll pause him as we go. And then we'll all jump in from there. Does that sound good, gentlemen?
Yes,
I
sir.
think I missed.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's load up Brody and see where we're at.
Well, thank you kindly for having me on this week again, gentlemen. Much appreciated. I'm here to give you my little fucking 2 cents on the Halloween franchise and what starts off as a shit fucking poop town of a film and to end in all its glory. And this is my rankings for y'all. Hopefully you dig it. I'll try and keep it short and sweet because no one wants to hear me ramble on for too fucking long.
I
But
do.
yeah, let's get fucking right into
I
it.
do.
I'm in.
Rightio, let's kick it off with number 13, Halloween Resurrection. And my God, this is an absolute fucking stink fest of a fucking film. It's an abortion. It's an absolute monstrosity to even think that the creators thought this was a good idea to fucking make. Whoever greenlit this script needs a good kick up the fucking ass, I'll tell you that, what, because this film sucks so much. I mean, who in their right mind thought it was a good idea to not only shit in the face of Laurie Strode, but even H2O and just go, let's kill Laurie off in the fucking first 10 to 15 minutes. That's a good idea. And you know what? While we're at it, we'll introduce the fucking found footage genre. You know, that'd be good, yeah? Sound good? And then we'll have a group of fucking characters at a party, yeah? That feels like a little bit of American Pie just because it's a product of its time.
Yeah, it did.
Come on, get real. Fucking, nah, not a fan. Busta Rhymes, what the? No, not say anymore.
Oh, come
What do I
on.
fucking say anymore? So coming in at number
All right. So that's a good start.
That's a
Bobby
great
started-
start.
Bobby
yeah.
started with 13. He gave his resurrection. You guys just heard what he said. I feel like he had very valid points.
He did.
He
No,
did.
he
But
certainly
some of
did.
those points are why I liked that movie.
And
I'm
Steve,
with
I'll
you.
fully agree.
You know what I mean? Like, it was cheesy, but Busta, I mean, goddamn, Busta was horrible in that fucking movie. He is not an actor, but
No, he's
it
not.
made it fun for me.
All right. So are we trying to get into a good resurrection topic here, or do we want to save it for when we bring it up again? Like, how do we want to do this? Because like I'm fine with talking resurrection here because I'm all for it. Like he said he didn't like.
Okay, we'll keep talking, then we'll
Okay.
give our list. Yeah, that's fine.
He didn't like the whole what do I
Found
want to say?
footage.
Found footage. I fucking loved it. I was
Yeah.
all for that shit. I thought it was a cool new direction. I was like, yo, you know what? This movie proved fuck Laurie Strode, kill her ass off, and it could still keep fucking going. And it
Exactly.
did. Now, you know, I'm not going to say it wasn't a product of the times. It
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
And let's just say H2O was a product of the times too. And it was following suit off of that. So, but personally, as a standalone random Halloween movie, I'm kind of fucking into it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I agree.
I totally respect Brody's decision. So, gentlemen, this brings us to our 13th bottom of the barrel. This is the shit. This is the one that we are all like, this fuck this movie, Poop Town. I'm not watching this. Chad Daddy, I'm gonna start it with you, homie.
Well, I think you should all pretty much guess by now that my number 13 is fucking Halloween Ends.
Yeah,
there you
The most recent and the worst Halloween movie that shouldn't even been called a fucking Halloween movie to begin with. 90% of the movie is this Lifetime movie of the week where it's Laurie's granddaughter falling in love with some town loser that everybody hates, and he got beaten up by the fucking band geeks for some stupid ass reason. And then all of a sudden, he's strong enough to beat up Michael Myers and take his mask, and he's Michael's protege. And they go around, they kill a couple people, and then he decides to take Michael's mask and does some killing on his own. Then Michael shows up and says, give me my mask back, bitch. I hated it. It was stupid. Oh my God, it was. And what really makes it even worse is the fact that the director is now coming out and saying this is the movie I'm trying to make, and he's trying to make himself sound even more clever. And when in reality, they just fucking ran out of ideas. They ran out of ideas. They didn't know where to go with it. So
They
just
wrote
said, "We're gonna
themselves
do
in a
this."
hole with that second one so
Yes, because
fucking hard.
that is
dude.
the worst way to end a trilogy, is to bring in a character that's completely unrelated, try to make him relevant, and kill him off. Why?
For filler.
Money.
Yep. Hey, you know what? I knew that was, but I was so waiting for you to just let it out because I knew that was going to be your ass one. And I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, but Scuba Steve, what was your number? 13, bud?
All right, guys. So it was not very hard for me to pick my number 13 movie, and you might be a little surprised to find out that it is, in fact, Halloween Ends, because I fucking Hated that goddamn movie. If I wanted to watch Romeo and Juliet, I'd fucking watch Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't need to see that shit in my fucking Michael Myers movie. You said this was the end. This was the awesome, epic end between Laurie and Michael and their feud that you fucked over when you changed the sibling angle. So fuck you from the beginning of fucking Halloween 2018. You can suck my hairy balls. Fuck this movie. Fuck everyone that was associated with this fucking movie.
Oh man, this is
you
gonna
like
be
this
a
movie,
fantastic episode.
If you liked this movie, hey, that's on you. It's not my fault that you like shitty fucking movies. Bobby.
Bobby, number 13, buddy.
I need a minute.
That's fine.
All right. So actually, I know people, like, when they do a ranking of a film series, they have a struggle with what's my number one, what's my number two. I actually struggled with what was number 13 for this for a little bit.
Okay.
No,
I like
for a little bit, because I know how a lot of people feel about this new movie, but I also know how a few people feel about a few others. So probably not a surprise, I did put Ends in 13.
Okay.
And listen, I said it. Listen, if you like this movie, great, fine, wonderful. Whatever you want to do with it, have fun with it. I just love how I
Don't
know.
be nice. Don't be
No.
nice.
Just hold on. This is I have to feel like I have to say this though. It's nothing against some of the actors who were in this, because I know they're good because they were in some other movies. I'll say that first. But if I wanted what Scoob just said, if I wanted a love story, there's better love stories. It's not meant. I love how the director's like, we never thought about making it a Michael and Laurie movie. We thought about making a love story. Isn't that like what they tried to do with some other movies and other franchises? I'm not going to name any names, and they just did horrible. Just listen. I get it. Some people are like, "Oh, it's different." Oh, well, we knew he was old. We knew this and that. I'm like, guys, you're not going to tell me this is a fitting end. It's not a fitting end. No matter what anybody says to me, like, "Oh, it's great," it's this and that. If that's a fitting end, then the Friday the 13th series should have ended on part 5 and has nothing to do with some of the other things. But then again, so
but they wanted it to.
This is my number 13. Just I actually came up with a movie on my way to work that would have made this it would have made a perfect ending, but that's another subject. So,
all right,
13 is that. I'm going to leave it at that because everybody knows what I've said about it. You guys all just said it. It's pretty obvious. So, John.
All right. So I am going to be the different one on this. Well, I mean, Brody obviously said Resurrection, so his was different. Mine is number 5. I fucking hate number 5. 5 is absolute fucking garbage. And as much as you guys hate Ends, I still feel like Ends is a more solid movie overall than 5.
But it's not a Halloween movie.
I still can. Dude, 5 is a dumpster fire, and I fucking hated it. You killed off your 2 main fucking final girls in the fucking movie before it even close to ended. You killed the main one off from 20 minutes into the fucking movie, and then you killed the secondary one who nobody even really gives a shit about, but she tried her best 30 minutes before the movie fucking ends. On top of, you made your main protagonist fucking mute now for no stupid fucking reason.
There was a reason. She was stressed out from 4.
It's trauma.
Okay, so we get to watch a kid with a stutter and a mute
guys,
try to figure out a sentence for 5 minutes? No, dude, that's dumb.
Let him talk. We all he didn't interrupt us.
Okay.
5 to me, and honestly, the edits are fucking shit. I just didn't like it, dude. And I personally honestly, the whole Thorn trilogy is very low on the list. I'll even say that I didn't like them at all. But
even 4?
Yeah, even 4. I just go, I don't care, dude.
I'm signing out.
Bobby's like, I quit the show.
Listen, man, this list can upset a lot of people. With all of our choices, I don't really give a shit. I was hoping to rock some boats, dude.
But that's good.
Right.
That's
Because like different styles make the world go round.
Exactly. And all our lists are going to be also different.
Like, and I say 5 because out of the Thorn trilogy, I would much rather watch 4 first, 6, and then 5. Now, I'm not going to say where obviously my order is in my list, but I will totally admit to 4 is the more solid of the films out of the 3. But dude, like, let's just be honest, 5 was fucking garbage. And I've never personally seen the producer's cut. I'm only judging this off the theatrical, but I don't know, man. There's just some really bad choices, really bad edits, and just
It's the mask really drags it down.
I was about
And
to say
the
you're
mask
missing
is-
one other thing is the mask.
no. I was saving that for the end because the mask is absolutely fucking atrocious, dude.
Yeah.
And
I
personally,
can agree.
I would have taken, what was it? Was it the beginning of this one or 4? I don't even remember. When he was just in a fucking like gurney and bandages. You could have gave me a whole movie with that.
That's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you could have went back to that, and that would have been fucking better than this fucking like wide-eyed alien-looking wonky shit that's not even tucked
It's
into
probably
his fucking collar.
It's
fucking
easily one of the
stupid.
worst masks of the
Oh,
whole.
It,
my
look,
God.
it looks.
Number
It's
one.
like fat Nicolas Cage.
And then there's
Yeah.
even a part where, and I know Bob and I discussed this, and apparently they do it in 4, which I didn't know, but even in 5, they fucking filmed it with the wrong mask on, and they still fucking edited it in there, and it's you got to really catch it, but it's like it's a blonde fucking like pink mask, and you're like, what the fuck?
I know.
is
But
that
I
shit?
remember seeing it in 4. It was definitely very
I,
obvious.
th-
in 4.
I still
Yeah.
think you're getting it confused with 4, but now 5, I don't remember because they didn't have a blonde mask because that was 2 masks they made. That's
And
why.
honestly, 5 wasn't even that good enough to try to remember, Bob. So don't even. worry about it. All right, so that's all I got to say about that. On to number 12. So let's start with the BKB again. All right.
Fucking 12. That would be Halloween Ends, and that was a fucking toss up between Resurrection and Ends who takes last place. But the only thing to say this film's ass was the cinematography. This film actually looked really good for what it was. I did fucking really enjoy the kills in this for what we got. They were pretty fucking intense, extreme at some times, and I thought there was some interesting cinematography shot around those kills. I thought it looked great. Now, what I didn't like about this film is the fact that we get fucking obviously Michael Myers into this film in about 50 fucking minutes. And not only that, he takes on this Corey kid. There's a lot of unanswered questions in this. It's sort of left up to the viewer to try and figure that out for himself, you know. He takes him on as like this apprentice. And the biggest thing that really pissed me off about this film was the fact that Laurie Strode's character is all of a sudden okay with the fact that Michael's still missing and her daughter died at the hands of Michael after all these fucking years. Should she not be more fucked up than those fucking other 2 films? Halloween Kills?
Yep.
Mhm.
Righto, number 11.
All right.
Nice.
So
He didn't even have to say much on that one.
No, he didn't.
Well, no, I mean to be fair, we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, so you know.
It's true.
All right, gentlemen, number 12. You want to start? Keep the same rotation, Chad, Daddy?
Okay, so 12 for me, and shouldn't really be a big surprise, was Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I did not like it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The bottom 3. Spoiler alert. The bottom 3 for me is the whole Blumhouse trilogy
I was wondering if anybody was going to come in with that
because I fucking hated it from the beginning.
No, you're
And
right. You're fine.
Halloween Kills. Okay, it had some really good brutal kills. I'll give it that. But one, especially by the end, they made Michael too unstoppable, too much like Jason.
I'll give you
It's
that.
the whole town coming after him, and the whole mob mentality of the town just really, really irritated me. And I got so sick of hearing "Evil dies tonight" over and over and
You
over
weren't the
again.
only one.
Like it was the worst thing because everything but Evil died that night.
That's true.
And they gave us this weird, like, quick subplot of the other escaped mental patient, where the whole town mob chases him down and kills him because for some reason they thought it was Michael Myers, despite the fact that they don't even have the similar physique at all. But they
Yeah,
didn't
right.
care. They just needed a scapegoat. They needed someone to go after. Anthony Michael Hall, why the fuck was he even in this movie? He's a decent actor. He didn't need to do this.
No, and you didn't need to say the same line fucking 150 times either.
Exactly. And I didn't care what happened
No.
to him. I didn't care what happened to the majority of the people. They killed Laurie's daughter at the end. That was about the only death that I really cared about. And actually, the only characters I cared about in the movie was the gay couple, Big John and Little
Oh,
John.
yeah!
I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, they
I
were
thought they were hilarious. I love those guys. When you're first introduced to them, there's
Oh, so good, dude.
fucking
So
Little
good.
John just rolling a joint and listening to some fucking Halloween music. I love that guy.
Was
And they
it
killed them off.
Michael McDowell, right? Is that his
Yes.
name? That
No.
was Little John.
Was it?
I think that's his name, right? Michael McDowell. I could be wrong.
Probably,
I
I
don't
don't
He's
remember.
from
I don't know.
Mad TV.
Mad TV. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was
Stewart.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I
Sure.
love those guys, but it still wasn't enough to save Halloween Kills. I thought
That's
it was
fair.
a big disappointment. So,
All right.
it was Steve.
All right, so we just talked about this movie. It was Brody's number 13. Number 12 for me is Halloween Resurrection.
All right.
So, a lot of the same reasons that Brody didn't like it were some of the reasons that I did like it, but it's still one of the weaker of the films for me. It's not one of the ones that I will throw on to watch. If it's on TV, yeah, I'll watch it, but it's not one that I go out of my way to watch. Like I said, Busta Rhymes just really didn't. I mean, he had the cool one-liner, but really that's it. He
just felt like Busta Rhymes in the movie. It wasn't like he was a separate character.
Exactly. And the cool points, were bringing it, into first person and the internet age, because that's, when it started kicking off. So stuff like that was really cool. And to see that in a Halloween movie was cool. It just felt out of place for Halloween for me. So that's why it's my number 12. So, Bobby.
All right.
My number 12, I this one was also flip-flopped around, but I kept it at 12. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
All right.
I mean, I feel like I've actually been conflicted with this movie a lot more recently, because it's got some good about it. I can't say it doesn't.
You mean because Ends tried doing what they did, but they still pulled it off better?
Not really.
The whole fucking the whole inner turmoil. No, not with the Corey thing. I'm thinking more of the granddaughter. Like she's like just with like what she.
You mean Michael's sister?
Yeah, like she doesn't.
Well, no, I think actually no. What I will say, his Halloween 2 got the trauma right.
Right.
Oh fuck yeah! Like, because this is someone who's 2 years after these events. Michael is still a threat. They haven't found him, but he's still killing. We're not sure. We know where he's going, but we're not sure.
Hoboing.
Yeah, but like
riding the rails.
I didn't. At first, I liked the look of Michael, but I didn't care how he looked. The whole idea of this white horse bullshit, like, I don't understand what you're trying to do, and it just doesn't sit right with me. And I liked it when I saw it in theaters. I just don't like it. Again, like what Scoop said is, I won't throw it on, but if it's on TV, I'll watch it. But the best part they got about this movie was the trauma, and Michael is still alive. So
that's what's funny to me is I bought her trauma more than I bought Jamie Lee Laurie's trauma in the whole Blumhouse trilogy.
Yeah, because
dude, because like hers was fucked, dude. Especially when she's dealing with the psychiatrist and shit, dude. And you know what I mean? Like she's not even listening. It's like, bro, I can't even imagine.
It made it real.
Yes. So that and like Michael, how he was, I'll give it that. But other than that, it has to be number 12 for me. Just, it's not a favorite to put on.
Hey, that's fair.
Yep. John?
So I'm going to keep it short and sweet, dude. This is where I throw Ends on the list. I know I'm not even going to say defended it. Like I said, I didn't hate it as much as you homies did, but I completely understand the take on it. And even mulling over it the last week or two, whatever. Yeah, dude, like I could understand completely where they fucked up and where this should have been the second movie more than the fucking second movie and vice versa. That being said, like, I still think it was shot nicely. I think Brody kind of, this is Brody's spot, and I feel like he kind of hit every nail on the head that I want to say. Cinematography-wise, I didn't think it was a bad movie. It looked really nice. Like, I liked the coloring tone of it and everything. The kills, still get a boner over that acetylene torch kill, dude, just because that was fucking hot as hell.
That was fucking brutal.
Unintended.
Painful to watch.
It was, dude. And I liked him getting crucified on the table. I still have my arguments neither here nor there, but once again, with this trilogy, man, just, I'm kind of with Chad Daddy, man. Even from the get-go, it didn't really, dare I say, the first one was the best, and it was just downhill after that. So, that takes us to number 11. Brody.
Halloween Kills. Look, Evil dies tonight, get fucked. Fuck off. He does not. We all know he doesn't. They've already spoiled the fucking fact that they were making a fucking Halloween end, you dumb fucks. Anywho, I'll tell you what I liked about this film was the fact that it definitely lived up to the title of the fucking name. There's fucking Gore City. Brutal as fuck. I loved it. It was great for what it was. But the fucking whole entire fact that this town turns into a lynch mob just so easily. It's like, yeah, Tommy, we'll help you. We'll help you fight the fight. And it's like some of these people don't even know who the fuck Tommy is. And his character pissed me off because he started a fucking lynch mob and then this innocent person dies. And then he's like, oh, poor me, poor me. It's like, no, fuck you, Tommy.
Almost like Loomis did in the Orange
Just way out of it. Get fucked. So coming in at number 10 is probably a controversy.
Slow it down there, brother. All right. So, number 11, Chad Daddy.
Number 11 for me was Halloween 2018. Like I said, the Blumhouse trilogy was the bottom of the barrel for me.
So
And the sad thing is, I cannot particularly point out one specific scene or any specific scenes that really killed it for me because I don't remember a fucking thing about it. I watched it once.
It was just the overgeneralized tone of it.
Yeah, just none of it. What really got me was, okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis is supposed to be so traumatized by this, okay. And then she deals with it by building all these fucking booby traps in and around her house. Not one bit of that seemed realistic to me.
I mean, I didn't mind it, but I get it from where you're coming from as the character of Laurie Strode. And I know Boss Man where he stands on that too. Obviously, he's very adamant. Like, I kind of agree with him. I feel like the sister trilogy or whatever it is a little bit more better representation of Laurie than this one.
I mentioned, Laurie in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, her the way she dealt with trauma was more realistic than this. I believe that she was traumatized. I believe the journey that she was going on. The Jamie Lee 2018, no, just didn't cut it for me.
All right,
Scuba.
So for me, it's Halloween Kills.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he was just too much like Jason in this movie. Like we said earlier, they tried to make him this like unstoppable fucking force after trying to humanize him. And then we see the rehumanization again in the final film. So this one just kind of sticks out of place for me. And there was just, I don't know, man. I don't hate this one as much as I hated Ends because it does have some cool kills. But I don't know. I really don't have shit to say.
They really should have flip-flopped
them. Yeah, they should have flopped them.
But maybe not completely, but like definitely some of the intersecting stories of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like if you had the filler where Mike wasn't there for most of the film, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then he shows up for the big granddaddy fucking shit at the end. So okay, yeah, for sure. All right,
so that's
Bobby.
it. I mean,
Well, I actually have for my number 11, a couple of you have already discussed it, but Resurrection.
All right.
I totally understand. This is the internet age. We're trying to incorporate that. Felt like it could have worked. Busta Rhymes ruined it. 1,000,000 fucking %. Even his line, trick or treat, motherfucker.
I love that line.
Bro,
I
love it.
Bro,
It's so good.
bro.
it's like fuck you, Lucky Charms.
I love how
Yeah.
everybody's blaming Busta Rhymes as if Tyra Banks wasn't there just doing
Oh
absolutely nothing.
yeah, but
She was
Thank
terrible
you.
too. I'll tell you,
Thank
she
you.
was fucking terrible. No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Give me a minute. I don't understand. Like they were trying to come off the whole LL Cool J thing from H2O, but LL Cool J actually mattered in that movie. Like I was rooting for him. Like, yo, I want to see if you are going to do something. I felt like he was going to do it. What did Busta Rhymes do? You put people in danger. Oh, well, I don't know. Michael's there. The house is still there. What do you think? Someone's not going to come back to it if he's alive?
I mean,
They
I don't
didn't
think
find
he was
him-
meant to be a likable character personally. Like in the
Well,
beginning,
I didn't
he was
like
just kind of a douchebag right off the get go.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
but still, and it's like, well, guys, they know Michael's not dead, right? So let's just put that. Tyra Banks is that she was useless. Just we're gonna leave it that she was useless. And I also felt that the character of Sarah, there's a lot of notes she didn't hit as a final girl.
that's fair.
But what points did this movie hit? Laurie dies. I mean, we could have done without it, but I'm like, I'm cool with that actually.
I think that intro was pretty sweet, actually. The way it
Yeah,
was. Like if you
that's
just
what it was.
had that, like at the end of H2O, maybe.
Yeah, okay. If it was at the end of H2O, I would have probably been better. But what I liked about this movie is that it showed that Michael's going to continue killing when she's gone. So I like the fact that he's like, okay, you're dead. Now I'm going to move on. Thank
Yeah,
you.
like it had nothing. Like at that point,
Yeah.
it wasn't just about getting Lori. It
No,
was.
it was about real
you know,
estate. Damn it,
yeah.
he was getting his house back.
Real estate.
But so for me, it's like, okay, so it's a product of its time. I think if Busta Rhymes wasn't in it, I think if it was a little bit better put, the mask was not the best. There was too much makeup on it. It was the first time they made it from a mask company, and it just didn't look right. It just didn't fit what it should be. There's just too much wrong with it. But the weird part is I might throw this one in if I'm really bored. Be like, do I really hate it? And then watch it. Be like, yeah, there's a reason why it's number 11 on all this. So yeah, that's
right.
really all I have to say about it. John?
All right. So number 11, I don't have much to say because I actually agree with Scuba and Brody. And number 11 takes Kills for my pick.
I was actually going to guess that. I'm like, Kills.
It was a toss up between my next one and Kills.
I know what the
but I
next one is.
feel
then.
like you might. I feel like Kills is. I enjoyed the kills in it. Like I really enjoyed when he killed off them 3 little shits wearing the part 3 mask and the like. You know what I mean? It was very satisfying. Like there was and the couples, dude. I love Big John, Little John. I love the older couple, that are playing with the drone. Like I felt terrible when they fucking got. I mean, obviously she didn't die, but like, dude, her husband was literally a fucking knife display for Michael in that movie. Like that was a fucked up, like that was a sad scene because I was like, oh man, they're just hanging out playing with their drone. Like what the fuck? But you're right. That movie should have been almost the third one because the way they ended it with that whole, and I kind of liked how they did shoot the ending where it was all blacked out and it was just him killing the people. I thought it was a little artistic. It was a little different than for a thing, but it almost reminded me of like the poster shots that they were kind of doing. So I was kind of digging it. But then he kills off the daughter, and that's kind of it. And I was like, that is a good shock ending.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem that I always have is, man, you fucked yourselves by saying you're making 3 movies right off the bat.
Yeah.
Never fucking do that, man, because now you already lose your disappointment for your second one because you already have a third one coming. So there's no point, you know what I mean? Like the ending is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. It's filler. It's the episode where Goku and Piccolo have to get their fucking driver's license before we can go back and fight in Cell.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? All right. So
Hey, I do have one interesting question about Kills.
go ahead.
Why was the daughter wearing a Christmas sweater?
So because she hates Halloween so much. She did it in 2018 as well. Like she is so anti Halloween because her mother is like the way she is. She's just like, I'm going to celebrate Christmas right off the bat. I actually kind of like that weird little like niche. I don't know.
I mean, I love the actress that played her. I like you.
Oh, she's great.
She was great.
Yeah. So
All right. So we are on number 10. Okay. Brody, what did you got, bud?
Controversial pick, and it is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Look, I don't actually
All
mind
right.
this film for what it fucking is. I understand he was trying to do something a little bit different, but still trying to keep it in the themes and the realms of like, you know, his first film, but he tries to, I think he bites off a little bit more than he can chew, trying to, you know, bring something new to the table, these layers of like mental illness for one's character, and it's just, feels like a fever dream, feels like a music videos in some scenes. But at the same time, we get some fantastic gore, some absolutely incredible kills, some brutal shit. Feels like a fucking 70s grindhouse type film with that exploitative element about it. And I'm all for it. I can dig it. Michael's still a menacing motherfucker. I'm not a fan of the half mask and him talking. Hated Loomis in this because his character transitions from being a good guy to a piece of shit in this. And lastly but not least, Brad Dourif is always fantastic to watch, and when he finds his daughter on the ground, it's one of the most heart-wrenching scenes in the franchise. So coming in at number 9 would be...
All righty. Thank you, Brody.
yeah,
So number 10, Chad Daddy, what did you got, buddy?
I'm with
I already
Brody.
know.
I picked Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as well,
All right.
which I watched for the first time today.
And you know what, man? I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
I know you really did not want to sit through it, and I get that.
I
didn't
did
like
not.
The first one, so.
I didn't, but I still rate it higher than this one, and it's because of Loomis in this one. I hated him. I
really?
hated
Yeah, he was- yeah.
douchebag Loomis.
I kind of like
Love it.
douchebag Loomis. I don't
hated
know.
him. I absolutely hated
I
him.
feel like you were supposed to hate him, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and this being the theatrical cut was the only version I could see. This is
Mm.
the one Michael doesn't talk in this one.
No.
No.
He doesn't.
No, that was the director's cut, and he just said die.
To Loomis, to which
Yeah,
I would still argue. I'm like, yo, man, that's the one dude. He's like, that's been pissing him off possibly the most.
And I actually have it on DVD. I found it.
that's
there you go.
that's Moby Dick killing Ahab right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with anything he said. You know, it did have some really great kills, and the whole traumatic angle of Laurie made sense. But you know, like you said before, the whole white horse thing made no sense to me. I didn't understand it. I mean, I'm guessing it's because it was supposed to symbolize her descent into madness as well. I'm guessing it's like a genetic thing.
Because
but I don't. A lot of it.
now, if I'm not, spoiler alert, everybody. Chad Daddy, it's been a minute since I have watched H2 with the director's cut. What was the ending specifically? Did she die or no?
In the director's cut, she dies. In the theatrical, she does not. The
Okay,
theatrical
that's
cut
what
just
it is.
the theatrical cut closes with a zoom on her face, and she's just starting to grin as she
in the
sees
hospital.
White Horse come. Yeah,
So the other ending is essentially the same, but she dies, and in the transition of her death, this is the last thing she sees, and it's more of a pan shot down that tunnel. But okay, yeah. Like I couldn't, like I said, it's been a minute, so I couldn't remember where the distinction was. But okay, so this is the one she's still alive, but she's essentially becoming Michael, or has become like okay. That's fair. All right. Scuba Steve.
All right. So the next one for me is Halloween 2018. The main reason that this movie is so low on my list is because they took away the sibling angle. I loved that angle. It gave Michael a reason to go after Laurie. Them taking it away, for me, like I said, I like things to make sense. I like for there to be a reason that he is doing what he does. So essentially, what 2018 did for me is kind of what Leatherface 2022 did when Sally was in front of Leatherface and she was like, "You don't remember me." So what the fuck was the point? You know, and so it's kind of the same thing with Laurie. He didn't remember who the fuck she was, supposedly. So why the fuck, you know, so it was just all coincidence. And that's, I hated that. I hated that about that movie, that they just made it like, oh, it was just coincidence that Michael went after you because you went up to the house and he saw you, so he started stalking you. I mean, and they took away, granted, what you say about
Wait, was
4,
he
5,
still?
and 6.
No, I'm a little confused because I know he escaped by the crazy doctor because he wanted to see the showdown, but was it still all happenstance because Laurie was putting herself in his way? I guess I never took it as that. I thought he
That's
still
how
like
I took it.
I
mean,
still
know the
thought like once he
doctor-
was released, like I thought once he was released, he was still like, all right, I'm gonna go get this bitch because like I still didn't get her, but like it wasn't like he was trying to escape to get her either. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
What I don't understand is why did Laurie just kind of stick around?
Because I think she was always prepared to like try to kill him personally.
But just
like,
move
I
the
think she
fuck
always
out of
knew.
state. Something. Go to fucking California.
Like I
she
think
lives
she
in H2O.
wants to kill him. Like that's
I think that's what it was. Is that she wanted to kill him.
That's why
but
she made the whole trap and everything. She knew
when you-
what she was out to do.
When you get rid of and I get it. Murder, it's horrible. It's traumatic. I suffer from PTSD. I get it. But 40 fucking years, and then you're going through all this, and then there's no rhyme or reason as to why you couldn't move on with your life. He didn't kill that many people in part 1. Granted,
so that was a line in 2018 I did enjoy. And I don't know if you guys remember, but they even they were like, he only fucking killed 3 people. What do you fucking do?
yeah.
Like, and I
yeah.
thought that was pretty funny. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, you didn't see a psychiatrist. You didn't think of getting fucking help. And it did not make any sense to me. That's why Halloween 2 is a little bit higher on my list, because you see the trauma that version of Laurie goes to, and how the PTSD and the depression and everything that she's going under because of what she witnessed with that version of Michael Myers. I just wish that they would have at least kept the sibling angle to give him a reason to go after. And there's a lot of people that hated that. They hated that in part 2, that they made them siblings. I'm one of the ones that like it. I fucking hated that they took that away. So that's why that's where this is. Bobby?
Hey, fair enough,
So,
bud.
I don't want to say if this is going to be controversial, although it's a favorite of mine to watch, but I also have to think in terms of Swiss cheese, Halloween 6.
Hey, you know what, Bob? I'm just gonna throw it right out there. I chose the same thing. But go ahead.
So I mean, listen,
There you go.
I do like this movie. I'm not going to say I don't, but if I have to sit here and tell you, what is a solid movie, this one's not. We all know the history of it. There's 2 versions of this, technically 3 versions if you really dig deep. It's
Yeah, there's a television version.
well, no, there's also a version where there's a lot of shit we don't know because I have a lot of it in that big box set. There's scenes none of us knew existed. So we all know this. There's 2 versions. Now, if you want to go 2 versions, the producer's cut of the 2 is the more solid version, but with plot holes out the ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I never like, and like I said, I like this movie. I will watch it. I don't understand the Man in Black. I didn't understand him in 5, but when I get to that part on my list, I will say so. I don't understand him, so he's here to protect Michael. What are you protecting him from? The man is a killer. We don't, Colt or not, we don't do that. I like the kills. I like how Michael was portrayed. I like how he looked. The mask is one of the best in the series. Can't argue that because it actually gives you that blank face. But I don't understand the whole in the theatrical cut. He kills everybody in that in the hospital room. Great kills, but what was the point? And then they're in an embryo room. What is the point of this? You know what I mean? And so
I agree, bud.
So now Jamie is having his baby, huh?
And it's not even the same Jamie, dude. Like, you fucking put in some other like chick that we're like, okay, so now it's a different actress. We don't care, and then you fucking kill her off.
And here's the weird part: is Danielle Harris. Maybe if she sees this, she had to.
That would be nice.
She had to get emancipated for this movie, and look what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that. Dude.
So there's a lot of reasons. I'm gonna cut it short there because I'll take forever. And I'll be right back.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, Bobby's gonna refresh.
Continue since we know yours is the same one.
Yeah. So I gotta go part 6 too. I'm not gonna lie, this was almost all right. If I didn't have the new trilogy to kind of dog on a little bit, this probably would have been this would have been fighting for 5 for the worst one. I will say the saving grace of this movie, particularly for me, is Paul Rudd, because Paul Rudd, even though it's his first acting gig, the dude can still fucking act. He's a charming dude. That being said, the new family, I didn't give 2 shits about. The dad was an asshole. I mean, obviously he was meant to be an asshole. Myers himself, and I could be wrong. Bob would probably know a little better than I, but I'm pretty sure this is the one where in the barn he kills the boyfriend with a pitchfork and then he kills a girl with a scythe. Is that 5? That's 5? Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes, no, say no, yes, no.
Yes, but it's still popcorny. Okay. The intro was kind of cool, and it was different with the whole weird like baby and all the candles and the weird like cult fucking cave shit and everything. But at the same time, I feel like, because like Bob said with 5, and I probably should have mentioned this when I bitched about 5, but the Man in Black, whatever, that dude should have never even been in the movie. He was a last minute throw in.
Yeah,
5.
they just fucking
he
threw
wasn't
him in.
even right. He wasn't even part of the fucking script.
Nope.
So now this director or writer, I think it was the director, he's trying to clean up some loose ends. So he's trying to take a little bit of every single thing that's come from the series so forth and try to put it in this movie. So he's trying to make the Man in Black work and this new cult shit and all this other stuff. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was just because, I mean, and we all know slashers in the 90s is a tough time.
Yep.
It's a tough time. Things swung, like there was a certain trope up to like 95, and then obviously 95, 96 was a big swing in the different direction with more produced shit, with Scream and all that good stuff. So, or bad stuff, however you want to look at it. But yeah, man, 6 is just, it's one of those ones where if it is on because they have a Halloween marathon, and I'm like, yo, dude, fuck it. I'll watch Paul Rudd, but I'll never fucking put that shit on like purpose.
See, I will.
I will.
Nah, I just.
But and the weird part is the whole script Daniel Farron's had tied everything up, and they said, nope.
Yeah, see, that's wrong. It's bad.
Because he even said
But-
like there were studio executives. Sorry, just a little long. He said there were studio executives. They're older. Oh no, we know what we need to do. This is not it. And it wasn't even Mustafa. It was the Weinstein
Of course.
people behind that, and they're
Yeah, it's
like,
producers.
yeah, and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna make this work for you, even though you did. So there you go.
That's all good. All right, so we are on number 9. All right, Mr. Brody, what do you got, bud?
The Halloween H2O. Now, I remember when this was coming out back in the day, and it was the biggest thing since fucking sliced bread, because a lot of people were stating the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back, and boy, were they right. She'd come back not only better, but stronger too. And that's probably the biggest thing I take away from this film, is the fact that she put in a really fantastic fucking performance. It was great to see her go up against Michael again. I wasn't really a big fan of Michael, the way he was portrayed in this. It just didn't have any creep factor to him. And then the whole mask changing thing really did throw me off in some scenes. I remember the CGI mask as a kid, and I was like, what the fuck is that on your face? God damn it, bro, you need to get that shit mold off. Anywho, look, it's still a fun film for what it is. Especially, this is how they should have fucking ended it, with the ending to this film. Jamie Lee Curtis, what she does to Michael Myers, I think that's how they should have ended it, and that was it. It's coming in at number 8 is Halloween 4.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. He went a little faster than I expected. All right.
That's what she said.
That's all right. So number 9. Chad Daddy, what do we got, buddy?
Okay, so my number 9 is actually Brody's number 8, apparently, and I went with Halloween 5 because there's really not that much to write home about with it. And I mean, I already touched on about how awful the mask was and how it looks like a fat Nicolas Cage. We did get some decent kills, but like John said, the main protagonist, one of the main protagonists from 4 is killed off 20 minutes into this. I kind of understand what they're trying to do with Jamie being mute, with that was her way of dealing with the trauma of what she went through. But I never really got, and I still don't understand the whole psychic angle between him and her. It just seems like it's completely out of left field, and it just didn't do it for me. I think they were just trying to do different. And again, I think it was supposed to be tied up with the whole Cult of Thorn thing. And
well, wasn't 5 was supposed to be the second actual ending to the series, right? And then they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do 6."
I think so.
Yeah.
That depends on who you talk to.
Well, if you look at how they tried killing off Loomis with a heart attack, and they're like, "Hey, let's retcon that one more time and bring back in 6."
No, he wasn't supposed to be in 6.
That's what I'm saying.
He was supposed
to die in 5 with his heart attack on top of Michael. That was supposed to be the end, like we got with the spoiler alert once again, with the fucking hospital explosion in 2.
I don't think you can really call that a spoiler alert. These movies have been out for decades.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I think it's funny to say it anyways.
But yeah, and there was just really no characters to really care about in this either. So that's why it's that low on the list for me. Scuba?
Halloween 6 is mine. Mainly because it was a clusterfuck. The best part of it, like John said, Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
We got another actress, like you said, that wasn't Danielle Harris, and I didn't care about her. I cared about Jamie when it was Danielle Harris because we had her 2 movies previous, so we built that bond with that character being that person, and I just feel like they just took that away, and I didn't give a shit about her, so I was like, okay, cool. She's having Michael's baby. Weird. Incest, whatever. Hey, cults do weird shit, so...
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so that, and we've already really touched on a lot of the reasons why I don't like this film. So that's just it. Halloween 6. Bobby?
All right. Bobby, part 9, or number 9.
Well, I think we've already talked about it. Halloween 5.
Halloween 5?
I don't even know what to say other than everything that was said. The other problem I have is everybody calls 4, 5, and 6 a Thorn trilogy. I think that's personal bullshit. 4 has nothing to do with it. And I will state that when I talk about it.
True.
Just saying.
You don't see the thorn tattoo until 5.
It's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not even a
I
thing.
think they just tie it in because you have Jamie in 5, so it's just
think
you already
so.
have 4 to 5, which is tied. So now 5 is introducing more stuff, which ties it into 6. So you do have a trilogy.
So I've even wrote in here a Halloween 5 that gets rid of the 5 we have and 6 and actually ties it to H2O. Or you could tie it to any other movie that makes it relevant. That it just makes more sense. So I don't really need to say much. We've already said it. I don't.
That's
Mask sucks. The Men in Black sucks. She dies.
Not
This
Will
one's a
Smith.
This one's a mute. This one's dead. Some kid's helping me.
I mean, you don't like that. You don't like the stutter trying to help the mute form a sentence. Like
they're doing the best communication than anybody in the whole movie.
Did he kill a dog? Did he kill a dog in that one?
He kills a
too?
dog in
every one, right?
dude.
In every one?
Every
Yeah.
single. I think this is the one where you reveal the dead dog at the end up in the attic or something, right?
2 he doesn't.
It was.
Okay, 2 he doesn't because there's no dogs in the hospital.
Dude,
fair.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, you literally see him kill and eat the dog.
Well, he's got to eat something. He's a hobo.
but the best part of the whole movie, I'll stand by this, is Donald Pleasance.
Yeah.
Because he was
Easy.
crazy. He was like, I got to figure this shit out.
Bro, he was ready to sacrifice a little girl to try to fucking get Michael at that point. Like, he lost it, bro. He was off the deep end.
So that's
Well,
that's
I mean,
my.
you got to think, as crazy as Michael was,
I
you
know.
got to think that
It's
trying
gonna rub-
to
it's
rehabilitate
gonna rub
him,
off.
like, God damn it. Yeah.
Right.
So,
it's like, that's
there you
when
go.
some
That's-
people are like, you just need to beat your kids.
Yeah. Yep.
That's my number 9, John.
All right. So number 9 is one that I feel like almost everybody's mentioned already, but 9 is Resurrection for me. It's a little bit higher up on the list because personally, I think the concept of the movie wasn't that bad. I feel like it's a very popcorn Halloween movie where I can literally just throw it on, not have to fucking think about anything and just fucking veg out and watch some stupid shit. Honestly, this is one where I'd almost like them if they bring back the series, which personally I really hope they put the series on the fucking burner for a while. Just let it chill. But if they do, I would love to see a return to this idea of him being on closed caption TV or something along those lines. Like, obviously, this was in the height of fucking MTV fucking real world shit and all that. You know what I mean? So it was riding that coast. I get it. It's a very with the times movie, but unfortunately, I am also with those times. So it kind of makes sense. It's definitely not the best. The mask is wonky. I love the intro. The intro was cool as fuck. It's kind of almost like Friday 13th 09. You could have just gave me that and I would have been a happy camper. I'm like, all right, that was cool. What else we got? But yeah, it's not the worst for me, but it's nowhere near the best either. So, all right. So that being said, we're going to move it to 8, which I'm going to see if I can skip Brody back here without skipping him too far. Wish me luck. Fuck it. We're just going to let it go.
It just didn't have any creep factor to him. And then the whole mask changing thing really did throw me off in some scenes. I remember the CGI mask as a kid, and I was like, what the fuck is on his face? God damn it, boy, you need to get that shit mold off. Anywho,
why do I not remember a CGI mask?
I feel like it was in like a transition scene or something. It's been a minute.
No, it's not. It's not a transition.
It's not?
It's blatantly in your face.
Okay. I'll take your word
it.
for it.
It's been a minute since I've seen it.
It just means we have to watch it.
It is, especially, this is how they should have fucking ended it, you know, with the ending to this film. Jamie Lee Curtis, what she does to Michael Myers, I think that's how they should have ended it, and that was it. It's coming in at number 8 is Halloween 5. It might be a controversial pick, but not for me. It's not. A bit of a nostalgia factor, actually. But yeah, what I didn't like about this film was the fact that they kill off one of the coolest and main actors from Halloween 5. And they do her dirty in the first 10 to 15 minutes like Laurie in Resurrection. That does not sit well with me at all. And yet, the end of Halloween 4 leaves this film up with so much potential to fucking create a fucking awesome sequel. And yet they were like, no, fuck that. We're going to throw all that bullshit out the window. And just
yeah, they are.
Now, look, I love the last half of this. I think it's absolutely great with the gothic aesthetic feel to it. And not only that, it felt like Jello vibes at times, you know, with the way that the characters play out their scenery and it's blocked and the lighting, all that sort of shit I was able to pick up on and just try and compare the pair. And it probably does help with the fact that it was an Italian director behind this, and she's trying to do something a little bit different. But yeah, I picked up on it with some of the character development, and it was interesting to see.
Okay. Chad Daddy, what's your number 8, buddy?
Okay, so my number 8 is Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie.
All right.
All right.
I feel like he did half of a good movie, and that half would be the second half. That was the actual remake. The first half didn't need to be done. I don't need to know that his version is I don't like the white trash angle at all.
That's fine. I
feel
know
like
we've definitely talked about this many a times, but
it just feels like it was too much of a cop out. Like it was too. It doesn't need explained, and that's why I liked Michael in the first movie. You know, he came from middle class suburbia. We don't know what caused him to do this, and that's what makes it even scarier. Some of the performances weren't the greatest. I loved the girl playing Lori. I think Scout's a good actress.
Yeah, she was great.
She was really good. And of course, we got Danielle Harris back in this, and we got Danielle Harris's tits in this.
Yeah, buddy,
which were very nice. But it didn't deliver on a lot of promises. But I get what he was trying to say. Like this is his version of Michael.
Right.
I mean that's fine. It just wasn't my preferred. But again, we've seen far worse since then. So
you know what? I'm just happy it's kind of in the middle of Chad Daddy's list. I can't even deny that, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like when we first, I was like, oh man, dude, he's gonna shit on that something fierce.
Nah, the Blumhouse.
Thank God for the
way
Blumhouse
worse.
trilogy to come in and just fucking take that shit salad. So.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right. Hell yeah. Scuba.
All right. So coincidentally, mine is Halloween 5.
Yeah.
A lot of Halloween 5 and.
For all the reasons Brody just said. So there's really not much more to say. I mean, is this the one where he dunks the chick's face in the hot tub and it melts
No,
away?
that's Halloween. That's Halloween.
That was 2.
No,
That was
doesn't
an
he do
awesome
it again?
scene in 2.
No.
Are you sure?
5
he
has
doesn't do it
the scythe scene, the pitchfork. It's got the electrical guy, right? What's his name?
No,
Oh, that's
Oh,
what
that
it
was
was for.
4. That was
That was 4.
Was that
That was
4?
4.
That was where he throws him on the fucking
That's
Very
4.
Jason
Transformer?
right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, I mean, it's not. I watch it because when I watch 4, I have to watch 5.
You know why? I forgot a good reason to dump on 5. And if you want to throw this in there, I'm going to throw it right now. Shitty fucking clown music for dopey cops.
Yeah, for the cops.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Is that
Yes,
shit,
yes.
dude?
I was gonna say that. Like it was.
But remember that they at one point that he said, "Why did you draw a gun on these kids?" And he's like, "We're cops," and he was like, "But we're bad cops. We're shitty cops."
Yeah, they're like, they
Yeah, but there was
like
very
she would
cops.
acknowledge they're shitty cops.
It was like very Andy Griffith, and it didn't need to be in a fucking
No.
Halloween movie. So that's why. I mean, I like I said, I'll watch it. It's still one for me. It's still one that I feel like I have to watch during Halloween season, or if I'm watching Halloween movies, I absolutely have to watch 5, regardless of how shit I think it is.
That's fair.
So yeah, that's why it's there. Yeah.
All righty. Bobby.
My pick for this one is actually H2O. I
Okay.
know there's a lot of people who think that could be higher on a list or low on a list. I know Brody had it actually 1 below, or more, 2 below, I should say. I like the idea. I like the movie, but it's not Halloween. It's Scream. It's Scream with Michael Myers.
Fair.
That's. Let's be real. That's essentially what it is. It was written by Kevin Williamson, who just came off of Scream.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's
also with the time, dude. Like they're like, oh wow, Scream did amazing in the box office. Take
Like,
this
I-
formula and run it.
like I
Yeah.
like Jamie in it. She was great. She came back, all this fire. Granted, here's the weird part: is a Halloween movie comes out, and all of a sudden she's a household name again. That's a little bit of a. I mean,
Wait. This was a few years after True Lies, right?
yes, but
So I feel
let's
like her name got pretty popular around then. too.
yes, but let's
True
also
Lies,
be
True Lies was what, 95?
94.
94, yeah.
But what is she known for? Let's be real. It's Halloween.
Halloween.
Having a penis.
But
Her,
so,
her
like,
boobs in
and-
trading places.
It's a
Joke.
tiny
And-
penis.
And the masks are horrible. The best mask is the one they didn't use the whole movie, and that was the 6 mask in the beginning of the movie, which actually looked like Michael. And then you got the CGI mask and the K&B alien eyes, and then Stan Winston made a mask and his eyes were too fucking. It was the most clumsy Michael. I think they build it that way for some reason.
Which
it
is weird
has
because
it-
doesn't this one have like the most budget out of like, well, probably not the newer ones, but given the times, like up to that point.
besides the newer ones, I think this was the most budgeted.
Well, yeah,
movie
because
this franchise.
they threw Weinstein money at it. They had
Oh yeah, dude. No, you're right.
So
fucking dimension.
it's a decent movie, but it doesn't feel like a Halloween movie. But I'll still watch it. I love it. I will watch it, but it's not one that I'm like, this is the Halloween movie you have to see to watch a Halloween movie.
I can't believe nobody's mentioning the worst part of Halloween H2O. And that's Josh Hartnett's fucking hair.
God,
I love Josh Hartnett's hair.
I
dude.
love
That's
his
so
hair.
Greasy.
dude.
It was horrible.
There's like
He
one
cut it-
spike
he
over
cut it
here and like one
himself.
spike over here, and it's like, yeah, but it didn't matter because women were still just like,
Yeah, because it was Josh Hartnett.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and he just proved a point. It didn't
Mhm.
fucking matter what you look like.
See,
Well,
I
it's funny
mean,
because
I
love
had-
Listen,
he had like
I'm
he
sorry.
had the exact same hair in the faculty because he was
Right.
filming these
Yeah.
at the same time,
And
and
when
I liked it
watch-
in the faculty.
And when I watch one, I have to watch the other because of his hair. I don't know why. I just do.
the ending of
Bobby, you were stroking out, buddy.
You stroked out, buddy.
He actually lost internet kind of on that one though. He's down.
Yeah,
in
you're in the yellow.
well, it's H2O, John.
All right. So
Bobby's mom needs to get off the porn.
hey.
Oh,
All right. So number 8 for me is actually going to be 2018. I understand this might be a little higher on the list for you. I can take out of the Blumhouse trilogy. I will take 2018 for what it is as a single movie. Didn't hate it, but the problem was me watching it the first time, and I will never forget, I laughed way too much at it for what I personally thought I should have laughed at a Halloween movie. And I'm not saying some slashers here and there can't have dark humor in it. There's always some good humor spots in horror if it's done properly. At least that's how I feel. I could be wrong. But some of them always have some at least like weird kind of like deep, nasty humor at some point. But this one just was like, I don't know. I liked her whole trap shit at the end. Yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense for the character, but I'm just saying, like, as for the design and the whole like aesthetic of it, I kind of fucking dug that shit. I like the dirty. So like when she's doing, like, we didn't need to see scenes of her like shooting at mannequins and shit, but it's showing that she's been like training her whole like these 40 fucking years to do this shit. I will say I think Michael is I think he's pretty fucking gnarly in it. I love the fact that he just kills those podcasters off that like were lying about what the fuck they were, which I think is hilarious. And I mean, just that whole, I mean, we've gotten it a bunch of times, but the gas station scene in that movie alone, I do really enjoy that scene. Like it is just, we've seen it a lot of times in the bathroom when he's terrorizing people, but that was just another one where it was just really good. And like, I thought it was actually kind of legit scary. And I was like, oh, damn. And while it wouldn't make sense how it actually works, because it wouldn't work like that, I do kind of enjoy the backyard scene with the lights, the motion sensors on and off. Like, I get, yes, the practicality, it's not going to work. Like, we myth-bustered this shit, but at the same time, it is a movie. You got to take a little bit with the whole. I think that's when they were still like, is he supernatural or is he not? You know what I mean? They're still trying to like dick with that thought. So, all right. So, leaving number 8 and moving on to number 7. Mr. Kane, what you got?
So coming in at number 7 would be Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. Now this is a film that I can really dig. Absolutely. A lot of people have a problem with the fucking fact that we get to see Michael as a kid and then turn into this fucking, force to be reckoned with. But that doesn't fucking faze me at all. And I'm all about character development. And to see Michael's character in a Rob Zombie universe develop is actually really wild and fun to see. Yet there are times where the dialogue is a bit of a letdown. I do understand that. It feels like this fucking redneck family, and that's far from what Michael's family ever was. But I do like how it's a different take on Michael Myers and what Rob Zombie was able to do with it. And I mean, Yeah, it's a well-directed fucking film, absolutely indeed, and he does not skip on the gore and the creep factor and all that, and he brings it all. Like, Tyler Main's a fantastic Myers. I think he's a fucking intimidating Myers, in my opinion. So yeah, I think he did extremely well with this film. Coming in at number 16.
Everybody yell! Everybody yell!
All right. Good job, guys. Good job.
Good job. Yep. Alrighty. Oh man. So number 7, Chad Daddy.
All right. My number 7 is another one that you guys picked lower on your list, and that is Resurrection.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I kind of dig it, and I think a good part of it, it's one of the few Halloween movies I actually got to see in a theater.
Oh, nice.
The
Okay.
first one being H2O. So I saw H2O, this, and then Rob Zombie were the only ones I got to see in a theater. So yeah, they kind of hold that little bit of nostalgic factor for me. But I do like some of the things they did. Like you guys said, I like the found footage angle. They did it in an interesting way, as opposed to doing it 100% found footage. They kind of integrated it with a regular.
What was that? Closed caption, right? Is that what you want? Like closed
circuit.
Closed circuit.
Closed
Closed
circuit.
Thank you. Closed circuit TV. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a closed circuit TV. I didn't hate Busta Rhymes as much as I hated Tyra in this movie.
I'd agree. I think
Yep.
I'd agree with that 100%.
And he had some fun lines. I mean, the trick or treat motherfucker. It made me laugh. I didn't hate it.
Stupid, but it's like iconic at this point.
It is.
honestly.
It's so stupid. It's funny. You know, it's like Samuel L. Jackson getting eaten by a shark. It's
Yeah,
it ranks right there.
You're
for
right.
me.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, it did have some interesting kills. I mean, still not really keen on the final girl for this one.
I don't even remember her, so that's how bland she was.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember is when she screamed at her audition, and it broke a light or something, and Busta Rhymes just loved it. I don't know. It's, in all honesty, I just remember Katie Sackhoff being in it more. The blonde girl who eventually went on to be Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica, and she was on. My wife was really into Longmire, so we watched her in that too.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know what's funny is that's where originally, like I told you guys beforehand, and I'll say this to the viewer, I was very like wishy-washy where I was moving stuff around. So that was one of the ones I did. Like I did have Resurrection there originally, and I moved it a little lower to move something up. So
yeah, that was another one. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put that one. It was like that one and 5. I had the most trouble with setting in the.
Because like Resurrection's one of those ones where it's like I know it's bad, but it doesn't necessarily leave a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like
it's like Jason X. You'll watch it and you like it.
Oh yeah.
No, I would.
I
like
love
Jason X way.
I love
more,
Jason
dude,
X.
than that. Yeah,
Very
like, Jason
well,
X. I won't
I
even
mean-
like.
I mean, as one as like some people say guilty pleasure.
I can see that.
For
I can
me,
see
that'd
that.
be more closer to like part 8 because I don't really care for 8.
Part 5. Part 5 is a guilty pleasure.
Ooh, you know what? I do like. Randomly enough, I actually like part 5 because of this show, and it's actually when Boss Man fucking interviewed Deborah Voorhees, and she kind of gave her like stance on it, and for some reason, it never clicked in my head that it was just a retelling of the actual first film, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I love that, and it just changed that movie completely for me. Like I don't know why, it just did, but hell yeah, man, memories. Awesome. All right, so Resurrection, I dig that. Scuba.
All right, so number 7 for me is Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie.
All right.
Chad Daddy touched on a lot of points to the whole white horse bullshit. I didn't get it. But I still like this movie a lot. Mainly because, like I said earlier, with Jamie's descent into madness, essentially, it played so well. She's trying to live her life, but she's still going through all these things through her PTSD. And there were some fun characters in here. The strip club guys were like, I love that scene where Michael just fucking fucks everybody up. But then, I mean, at some points too, it had me thinking, like, is this really happening, or is this in Laurie's head?
Oh,
especially kind of towards the end, you know, it just really kind of fucked with me because you don't really know if Michael was in that shed with her. Was Michael in the shed with her or not?
You know where that starts? I would say it actually starts right off in the beginning, dude, because even though the opening for the hospital is brutal as fuck, I love it. you don't know if it's a dream sequence. You don't know if it's
Yeah.
a dream, if it's a memory. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
vague. So I get it. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I took it as it was a dream that it didn't ever happen.
See, I always took it as it was more of a recurring memory that she does dream about.
See, and that's how I
like
took it
that.
as she's dreaming. It was a dream, but she's reliving what occurred after the first.
No, right.
Halloween.
Like that legit happened, but it's just a nightmare she's consistently.
Yeah, it's her
dealing with.
PTSD nightmare that she deals with on the
Yeah,
daily.
yeah, right. That's how I personally took it. But
Yeah.
it also might be just there for obviously open interpretation. So
Yeah, true.
hell yeah, dude.
So, Bobby,
All right.
So this now is where my list of like ones that I watch probably, I don't want to say religiously, but quite often.
Oh,
And it's one that we have not talked about yet, and that is good old Season of the Witch, baby. Yeah, baby.
Wow.
This is my middle of the road, and because so people real quick like to compare. Oh, Halloween Ends is like Halloween 3. No, it's not. Michael is dead in Halloween 2, so they wanted to do something different. They did it. We got a concrete different movie. It's something totally different.
Got Tom Atkins' ass, homie.
Yeah,
Why is it so
buddy.
low on
We
your
got
list?
Tom Atkins.
Tom Askins.
we got all the goods. Now, granted, it's not a Michael Myers movie. I'm not trying to make that be like, oh, that's why it's here. No, it's a very middle of the road. You either love it or you hate it. It's that movie of the franchise. 9 times out of 10, I love it. There's a few things I don't like. One, I do feel the explanation of Stonehenge being used as a part in the chip for what sends people. I think that could have been a little bit better explained, just
I'm
a
all
little.
for it, dude.
No, I'm all for it, but I think it could have been like, give me a little more with that, because this man's obviously a warlock. He's obviously capable of things, so that I would have liked a little bit more, and I would have wanted the original ending. The original ending of this movie was supposed to be all the kids screaming as the mask melts their heads away.
Fuck yeah, dude. It was
Yep.
awesome.
because only 2 channels got it off, baby. Only 2 channels.
And there were supposed to be some really more grotesque bugs coming out of the head in that one scene. I feel this is a great witchcraft movie, but I feel it's also a great Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
It actually screams Halloween, you know?
Mhm.
Like you get that Halloween feeling. And this is one I watch all the time. Like, and so, you know, I just do. I have it in a heavy rotation, especially this time of year. The characters are great. The acting was great. The build up as to, is there really something wrong with this factory? We're not sure, and then it starts to really unravel.
The catchy little theme. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
theme
dun,
is
dun.
great. So yeah, I put this at the middle of the road for, again, you love it or hate it. I love it. I feel it's one of the best produced because, you know, it was, all right, that storyline of Michael is done. He is technically dead at the end of Halloween 2.
Mhm.
Well, now I
Mhm.
want something new. So they did it. Not like with the new trilogy where they're like, yeah, we got 2 movies about Michael. This is a love story. Oh my God, there's Michael. Now he's dead. Now we have a new story. Yeah, okay. We've been down that road enough. So that's my middle of the road pick, and I love Halloween 3. John?
All right, so we are on number 7. I have H2O on here. I feel like it's a middle of the road movie. It's not terrible. It's definitely not the best. It's one where if it's on, I'll probably watch it, and I kind of hope Resurrection's following it. If not, like, I'm not gonna lie, probably talking about all these movies, I probably would go out to watch it right now. And it's been a hot minute since I have.
Same here.
But I have seen it enough to where obviously, you know, it's not completely vague. But I didn't remember the CGI mask. I do just remember he seemed like a very toned back, whitewashed Michael Myers. And I just didn't really vibe with that. Didn't really care for it. It was kind of just like, I'm gonna just go watch the first 2 again. But you know, I think Jamie Lee did great in it. I liked her whole like mom aesthetic because I thought she was kind of like the hot mom in that role. Josh Hartnett, I thought, did a great job. He was Josh Hartnett. He kind of like did his thing and he kind of peaked at that, but you know, he did it well. I feel like I agree with Chad Daddy. I think I liked him better in The Faculty more than this, but yeah, still great. And so yeah, I feel like we've talked about H2O enough. So we are going to move it on to pick number 5. Brody,
You mean 6?
Number
You're
6.
probably thinking,
wait. 6. Yes, I can't count. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm jumping ahead here. Brody, number 6.
I'm a fucking idiot, but look, it is what it is. I like this film for what it is. It's fucking, yes, it is a fucking mess. It's a hot
Wait.
mess. It's all over the
We-
shop. It's
we
definitely
talked
the
over where he
turn of
said
too
you have to
many
go back a
chefs
little bit.
in the fucking kitchen. On the gore and the creep factor and all that, and he brings it all. Like Tyler Main's a fantastic Myers. I think he's a fucking intimidating Myers, in my opinion. So yeah, I think he did extremely well with this film. Coming in at number 6 is Halloween 6, and yes, you're probably thinking I'm a fucking idiot. But look, it is what it is. I like this film.
I
for what
love that he
is.
says
It's
it though.
fucking-
Love you, Brody.
Yes, it is a fucking mess. It's a hot mess. It's all over the shop. It's definitely the term. There's too many chefs in the fucking kitchen when creating this film. And I do feel sorry for the director because I actually read somewhere of his original vision for the film, and it sounded fucking awesome. It tied up a lot of fucking shit previous to this film that was going to make sense, and it was actually really interesting, really intriguing shit. And I'm sure if you look online somewhere, it's there. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's a theatrical cut. We get gore, fantastic fucking gore in this. They really put a lot of time into the practical effects of some of these gore. I love the way Michael looks in this. His overall visual appearance, the mask looks fucking fantastic. And he's sadistic. He's a brutal motherfucker. And he will stop at nothing to get to you. You put anything in front of him, he'll tear through it, and you are fucked. Coming in number
Pause.
All right.
Number 6. Chad Daddy.
Okay, so strange enough, my number 6 is also Halloween 6, but the producer's cut. I have never in my life watched the theatrical cut because I refuse to. Because I know how much they butchered it and how much they changed it. This was the first
I
version.
feel like that's all I've seen. I guess
Yeah.
because I didn't even know until you guys that there was a different one. So
I always knew there was, and I looked for years on bootleg.
Yep,
that's how you have it.
Well,
Bootleg?
no, I had it for a long time. Now
No, I mean Chad Daddy.
I did originally have it on bootleg. I ordered it. I don't remember what the name of the company is anymore. I think they're long gone, but it was the producer's cut. It was on VHS. It was pretty shitty quality, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I had it, and I liked it better than what I was hearing about the theatrical cut. And one of the big differences between that and the theatrical cut is you actually get a lot more Jamie in this. She dies much later in the movie, as opposed to being, because the theatrical cut, she's thrown into some kind of farm machinery.
Yeah, dude. In like 20 minutes in, like just like how her sister was in number 5.
She's actually still alive and in a hospital. Loomis even goes and has a scene with her, if I remember correctly. It's been a hot minute.
So that makes way more. Okay. So there's a scene where oh my god, fucking Paul Rudd shows up to the hospital with the baby, and Loomis just happens to be there, but it never made sense of like why Loomis would be there.
Yeah, because Jamie was alive and in the hospital, and that's where Michael does eventually track her down and kills her in the hospital.
That makes perfect sense, because I heard a joke. It was like, well, Loomis is old as fuck, so maybe he's just at the hospital taking care of himself. I'm like, that's possible.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah, and it introduced the world to Paul Rudd, which is not a bad thing. He looks exactly the same today as he did back then.
Yep.
That dude.
That dude's a vampire. He never ages. But it had some interesting kills, and I really like the ending, the way they had it set up. And I can completely understand why they had to change it, because Donald Pleasance died even before they really finished filming everything. So they had to kind of make everything up on the fly. And then the original ending was, it revealed, of course, who the Man in Black was. It was Dr. Wynn, I believe was his name. And he actually transfers the curse of the thorn onto Loomis, who you're led to believe will be the kill in the next one. And Michael is the Man in Black at the end.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
So it would have been, it's set up at a really, really interesting potential sequel, which, of course, with the death of Donald Pleasance, rest in peace, we would never have seen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
All right. So number 6 for both you boys. All right. Scuba.
Number 6 for me is Halloween H2O. I'm not going to say I love this movie, but I remember going to the theater to watch it and just with the biggest grin on my face, because Laurie was back, Michael was back, and it has one of the coolest, for me, not even kills, just like transitions for Michael to come in the screen when he fucking just one-handed fucking comes down.
Yeah,
Dude, I absolutely love that scene. LL Cool J was in this. I mean, I was a huge LL Cool J fan growing up, so seeing him throw his acting chops into a Halloween movie,
and he's good.
Yeah, he was good.
He
He
was.
was good. And so this for me was more like you guys said. It's Scream, but it's Halloween, and I love this that aspect of the film because it makes it scarier. Because fuck Ghostface, this is Michael Myers. It's Michael Myers hunting down these fucking college kids, trying to get to his sister, and then there's that scene. And I fucking love this scene where Laurie closes the fucking door and she's face to fucking face with Myers.
Yeah, dude,
I loved that shit. Like it gave me goosebumps then, and I just got goosebumps thinking about it right now.
And
because
that was the
making
money
me
shot.
want to watch this movie
Yes.
so bad.
That was
right
the
now,
money
dude.
shot.
Now I
It
gotta
was.
rewatch it.
It was. And then the way
Right?
the movie ended, where you're like, oh shit, she just fucking knocked his block off. Like, it's done. This is it. That's it. She finally killed him. I was just so fucking just ecstatic. I was like, wow, how is he gonna come back? Like, what the fuck? And then of course, we know he comes back and she killed the wrong person. But I was just so hype after watching that movie, especially like 20 years later. Just so fucking great. Like,
I remember the ad campaigns for that were nuts, dude.
yes, they were.
The funny thing is, I called it. The first time I saw it in the theater, I'm like, that's not Michael. And people are like, why? I'm like, look at how when he wakes up, he doesn't know where he is. He feels his face. He doesn't know what the hell's on his face. He reaches out for her. That wasn't Michael.
Yeah.
They telegraphed that.
And they did.
Yeah. So that's my number 6. Like I said,
All right.
we're getting into the bread and butter right here.
I know.
where-
This is where it's gonna be
We're-
getting interesting.
Yes, and it's where these films are gonna make me smile. So
Same.
Bobby, what you got, Bobby?
Well, I know pretty much all of you have some of these next ones very low, and that's fine. But mine is Halloween Kills.
Okay.
All right.
Well, okay, so I know that I will say I do think this movie gets a little more hate than it really should. I honestly do. I will stand behind that. Considering what some of these movies we just mentioned, some of them, I think it should be a little higher. Listen, I understand the dialogue is not great, but I'm looking at it as a modern day piece because it is. Nobody today knows what the fuck they're talking about. So for me, the whole mob thing is, well, you don't talk rational to begin with. So for me, like that little bit, I'll be like, okay, I'll give you that. Michael is
Oh
unstoppable
yeah, mob
here.
mentality is 100% like a real thing. For
So
sure.
so that's why for me, I'm like, all right, I get the mob mentality here. I get that. Like for me, Michael is unstoppable here. He is what Carpenter said. He is a force of nature, almost supernatural. This is not a man who is going down. This is something in this movie will not go down easy. Can't go down easy. The kills are great. Jamie Lee's performance, not the best.
Well,
But-
she was barely in it, so
She was, and that's fine. But at the same time, she was barely in 2 as well. So I'm like, okay. But I loved how her granddaughter in this was stepping up a little more, at least a little bit. I'm like, you're going out there, you're trying to find him, and I like the fact that it wasn't all about Laurie. It was Michael wants to go home, basically, and he did. Which the next movie he should have picked up there. We already know what happened. I liked how he looked. I loved the brutality. I loved how he literally doesn't stop. The fact that he killed that guy, the girl's husband, the lady's husband, and just kept putting knives in him. I'm like, you do know how sadistic you have to be to just be like, yeah, you're dead, but I'm just gonna keep putting knives in
He
you.
was very Terminator in that fucking movie, especially
Yes.
in the beginning with the or the fire.
Firefighters.
And you know what the weird part is? Some people are like, why didn't they all crowd him? Okay, well, no offense. As someone who was a firefighter, you're not moving as fast as you think in that equipment. Just
No.
You know what?
That
That
equipment
wasn't
is
even my
very
biggest
heavy.
question of that movie. And my biggest question is, and I understand, I already know the answer, but when she was stabbing him in the body with the pitchfork, why do you not go for the fucking headshot? That's
she's
the
not that
simplest fuck. No. Just because you can't, because then you wouldn't have more movie to go with, because
This is
that would
true.
fucking kill a motherfucker. But you always go for the headshot, dude. It's the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
So
I respect it, Bob. I do.
but I liked it. Like it was also a movie that it literally says it in the title. Halloween Kills. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it killed the
Whether
franchise.
no, I don't know about that.
And
I
Ends
think-
ended it? Is that what you're
And
saying?
then ended it. They killed it and then ended
See,
it.
I think Ends killed the franchise, not Kills.
I would say
I'll be
2018
honest.
didn't even really like come out of the bang. Anyways, we already talked about that.
We did.
Well, you'll hear more.
I
But
did.
that's
No,
mine.
no.
That's mine. I liked it. I think it's also one of the better produced. It actually looks like a Halloween night. It actually feels like a Halloween
No,
night.
it's a very
does.
good looking
It's
film.
and so yeah, that's mine.
All right.
John?
All righty. Number 6. I'm going number 4 for this.
Hey.
Right on.
It's my favorite out of After 3 trilogy, whatever you want to call that. I know Bob didn't like the Cult of Thorn, but I would argue
It's not.
I would argue the niece
is,
is
but-
there. It continues it's all in continuity.
No.
Can we talk?
No.
Continuation. Anyways,
Horseshit.
but no,
Sorry.
4 was the better out of those because yeah, we got Michael back. It's literally in the fucking subtitle. The Return of Michael Myers. Ooh, everybody's nips get hard. All right, sweet. We get a new main protagonist. She's great. You know what I mean? She's great kid actor. You feel bad for her in the movie. I didn't like how they just kind of wrote like Jamie Lee Curtis's character off with just some fucking like headshots, and they're like, "Oh, she died in a car accident." It's like, "Oh shit, dude! Like we're getting a Spider-Man fucking Michael Myers story. What's going on here?" But yeah, and then we got a cool ending where we were like, like I mean, dude, this series has tried to turn the protagonist into the killer so many different fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
But this was one of the, this was one of the first ones, and I liked it because we were getting the little kid killer again. It was cool as hell,
Yeah.
like, and I liked the family. She had a good dynamic with the stepsister there and everything. That's what 5 pissed me the fuck off, dude. Because 5 comes in, they change that character and literally offer in 20 minutes. They're like, "Oh, thanks for making me care about that." Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
They just made her kind of like the bumbly blonde.
They made her the bitch that they killed off in 4.
Mhm.
The one that was sleeping with
Yeah.
her boyfriend
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
I love the new sheriff in this one too, because he's like, "Catch you up with my daughter again, I'll use the shotgun on you." It's like, yeah.
It's like I already did, but I'm not going to tell you.
But no, this one it's a simple one, and I think that's why I enjoy it more out of all like the Halloween, like, you know what I mean, like out of a lot of ones. It's just it kind of returns almost back to a basic formula from the first one, where it's not trying to go. Obviously, the kills are a little bit more like in your face. Obviously, the first one's very subtle. A lot of people forget about it, but I feel like it was pretty decent. It's one where I could easily put on and like, yeah, I'll gladly watch that. Like, no problem. All righty. We are in our top 5.
Woo, bread and butter, baby.
We're at 1 hour and 27. I feel like we're not doing too bad because we've actually, for the most part, we've pretty much explained most of the movies that we've gotten to here besides a couple of them. So, all right, Brody, number 5.
5, Halloween 2018. Now, look, I love the fact that they were able to take the time and try and create something not only a little bit new, but definitely a bit of a callback to the OG with some of the shots cinematically, with the cinematography. You know, there's definitely some come day in there. So there's a couple of shots I noticed. You know, we get the long shots of Michael killing people and that here and there. But I love the visual representation of Michael in this. I mean, I still think he looks intimidating as fuck. It's the closest to the OG that we've fucking got, to be honest. And not only that, the opening scene to this fucking film, when I saw this in cinemas, I was like, holy fuck. And when they bring out the mask and you see him do the old head tilt, and you're like, God damn, even I can feel that shit. My fucking
me a
dick
boner.
can feel that shit. It's like this table with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so coming at number 5 for me.
All right.
So yeah, coming in at number 4.
Pause.
Oh,
right.
oh.
So
I love his explanation here. That's so funny.
yeah, this is great, dude. Thank you. I'm glad Chad thought about
Yeah.
splitting it up, and like I like this. This is good.
This is
All right,
working
so
great.
Chad Daddy number 5, buddy.
So beginning my top 5 is actually Halloween water. Yeah, that's Halloween H2O.
Halloween water.
Halloween water.
Nobody said that yet. I'm surprised.
like,
dude.
what?
But
I
yeah,
haven't
you
heard
know,
that in years. Oh my
it's as much as I harp on it, you know, especially when the pod boss is talking about it. You know, I like to call it Scream, if you know what I did last Halloween, but it's still fun. It's still a cool movie. It's still fun. Yeah, it was a little bit too Screamish, but you know, it was very well executed. I didn't hate the mask as much as some people do. I know a lot of people, you love it or hate it. Okay, basically.
Terrible. Sorry.
But like I said, you know, I predicted the ending when I he just wasn't acting like Michael, so I was right about that. Jamie Lee Curtis did a fantastic job. I thought the rest of the cast weren't awful. LL Cool J was, of course, awesome. You know, I wish he would have done more horror movies because he really shined in this, and he really, really, really shined in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, so I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it. I enjoyed it, and it had a really good soundtrack too.
Man, now I
You
got
mean the Scream soundtrack they used?
Was it?
That's what? No, it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's not
The original soundtrack was more Halloween.
I'll have to
Yeah,
check
no, it
that
is.
out. I'll have to
No,
check
it actually is.
I'm talking the
It's a
actual. I'm talking the music, not the score. The music.
Oh, well,
The
you gotta be
songs.
specific. You gotta be
That's
specific.
probably
When I-
like 90s rock and grunge, I imagine.
Okay, when I'm talking about the songs, I say soundtrack. When I'm talking about the actual
Score.
music, I say score.
Score. Yeah.
Have you not caught up on this yet?
Listen.
Two separate things, Bobby. Two separate things.
Shut your filth.
I know we're
love
not
you, buddy.
classy, but we're that classy. All right. So number 5 is H2O for Chad Daddy. Scubas, that big old grin on your face. What do you got, buddy?
Halloween 4, and I
There you
watched
go.
this movie to get the bad taste of Halloween ends out of my fucking
I
mouth.
did the exact same thing.
Oh,
That's
I-
hilarious. That's awesome.
This is the movie where Mike is back after we thought he was gone, and then we have Loomis with that fucking. Oh, it's just I love this movie, and I mean, it was kind of, you know, like, fuck, Laurie's dead, cool, whatever.
Mhm.
But then in my mind, I always had, well, was she really dead? Did she really die in that car accident? Or, you know, maybe she faked her death and said, fuck these kids. You know what I mean? And just fucking, you know, hey, you never know. I'm just saying.
That's basically what H2O implied.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
She said she faked her death. So
yeah. So when I like this film. Danielle Harris is so great in this film. And I mean, Loomis is Loomis, you know, and it was back at it. And we had Mike back at it doing what he does best. And so I love this film, and it starts off my top 5. Bobby?
So
yeah.
my number 5 is actually Rob Zombie's Halloween.
There you go.
Ooh.
I know a
Hot
lot of
take.
people are definitely going to be like this, like, whoa, wait a minute, we've heard you say some negative things here. First of all, as I go, this is his vision. For his vision, yeah, he made a great movie. I can't say he didn't. You know, I'm an OG Halloween. That's my, you know, and you know, so he gave Michael a little more backstory. Okay, and he did it right for the time that it needed to be. So, like, young Michael was great. The idea, because in this one, he's not evil, he's a product. Let me
I
refresh.
think it would actually be a little cool.
I will refresh and I'll be
Yeah,
back.
go ahead. Okay.
Well,
All right.
I'm running on bad internet here. I'll be back.
Oh, that's fine. It's the shit show for a reason.
Yeah,
All right.
baby.
But yes, so I'm just gonna go Rob Zombie. John, you go. We'll
All
go
right.
later.
So we're talking Rob Zombie. My number 5 pick is actually Rob Zombie H2. And I know I might get a little shit.
that's
on
a
this, and
really hot take.
Yeah,
It
hot
is.
take.
It is. And I've said this many times before, dude. I really like the idea of Rob Zombie's fucking Michael Myers. Like he's the one to me that scares the shit out of me. And I know it's nothing to do with like the whole evil thing or anything like that. It's just when I really think about it, dude, if I'm bigger than the guy, I'm sorry. It's a natural, like, I'm not as, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't defend myself, but it wouldn't be as like an oh shit moment to where it's like, let's say if I ran into this motherfucker, like in the first one when he's looking over the door, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that was a terrifying fucking moment because you're looking at it from her thing. But like the second, obviously, I picked the second one. I liked Hobo Myers. I liked the degrade of the costume over time. It's something that we personally haven't seen. Somehow Mike always ends up in a brand new fucking pair of slickers and gets a brand new mask. And it's like, all right, man, we've seen this a million times. I like the degrade of, and I like that, like, I feel like he knew the mask was degrading, so that's why he also didn't wear it all the time, only when he was like going his insano mode and he actually needed to like kill. Now the whole, like Bob was just saying, like this series sets it up as him not being evil. For the most part, I would agree with that, but I feel like it leaves a little bit of like vagueness in there to where you could be like, well, it could be still both. Like it's still the nature versus nurture aspect of it. Like the kid still had evil in him, but was it natured to become even worse, or was it, you know what I mean? Like it was just going to happen regardless. But the second one, it's trippy as fuck. I love the trauma deal, like we talked about, dude. Like I like Laurie. Like Laurie has all these like dirty new friends. Love them. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like they're fantastic. I want to hang out at that bookstore with that old stoner dude, man. Like
fuck
I feel like him and I would have a really good fucking time.
Old fucking Howard Hessman.
Yeah, dude. And I like the dynamic between like her living with the sheriff and her friend. Because like obviously now you see that struggle between them, because now it not only living with each other, but dealing with all the shit that they fucking dealt with, dude. And it's just each one of them has their own basket of shit. And I feel like, dude, when Danielle Harris died in this movie, man, like that was a fucking terrible scene, especially when her father comes in. Like, bro, like, especially as a father nowadays, dude, like that is just, I can't even imagine, dude. Like that is just crushing. And I'm not gonna say this movie wasn't a little fucking out there. It was definitely wonky. I saw it in theaters. I still loved it. What the hell is that sound? I saw it in theaters. I enjoyed it, man. Like the killing the nurse in the beginning, that shit's like burned in my head, man. Just the sound design alone in that scene, just the squelching noises and shit was just, my wife doesn't even like watching it because it's just like, oh, I almost want to throw up. And I'm like, I know, it's so brutal.
It's fucking brutal.
Oh my God, dude, it's intense, man. Like, and yeah, I dig his vibe, dude. Rob Zombie, it's one of those ones I've been vocal. I don't love 100% of his movies. I will fully admit that. I feel like it's give or take, but this one I thoroughly enjoy. And like anytime I put on the first one, I always have to watch the second one after. So that's why it sits at number 5 for me.
Hell yeah.
All righty. So number 4, gentlemen. Let's see what the Brody's got.
Would be Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Very underrated, very highly underappreciated fucking film. It used to get shit on all the fucking time, and I never understood why. And then it was obviously until I got older that, you know, Michael's not fucking in it. But I can appreciate it for a fucking standalone film. It's just a pity that the fact that it's got Halloween 3 in the title. Season of the Witch by itself, everyone would be fucking flocking to it like flies on shit. Now, I love the fact that it was something different. Carpenter was like, let's just fucking create an anthology of fucking films. I mean, Tom Atkins, I think he's a fucking mustache superior in this. He's a badass motherfucker. You don't fuck with him. And it was just really interesting to see that they were able to try and create something new and different. I think it worked extremely well. Like, it's a fun film. You can just put it on at any fucking party and just have a good time with it, and everyone would fucking like it. And if you haven't seen it, definitely go out and suss it and stop being a dickhead and judging it.
Thank you, Brody. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Chad Daddy, number 4, buddy.
Brody, I agree with Brody 100%. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there, boys. Is there any other grievances?
It's not my next one.
Bob just fucking lagged out. I can't see his head.
Is that your next one?
I'm gonna throw it in. Yeah, I'm also with these boys. This is my
I love
top,
it. I love
this is
it,
my
you know.
number 4 pick as number
It's
3. So go
Yeah,
ahead,
it's
Chad.
fucking it's Tom Atkins at his best, you know.
Mhm.
And we get a lot of great 80s Tom Atkins movies. And this is probably the best, second best.
This is cream of the crop right there.
This is second best. I would go with his best being Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I love Night of the Creeps, but he was fantastic in this. We had a lot of great kills, now there is a little bit of the movie where it kind of bogs down. That's why I put it down at number 4 as opposed to a little bit higher. But it was different. It was so completely different, and that's why a lot of people hate it. Not me. I used to hate it, then I went back and watched it as a completely refreshed take on it. I'm like, this is a really, really solid movie. If it was called anything else aside from you just call it Season of the Witch, this movie would have made a killing. It's that good. We got, you got Kundi.
Yeah.
We had Kundi doing this.
Kundi.
Kundi was doing the director of photography. We had fucking Carpenter did the score, which was fantastic. Has that catchy fucking Silver Shamrock song.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Fucking
And
A.
I love the fact that it, went in a completely opposite direction. We had a slasher film. Let's do something here with a little bit of witchcraft and stuff. So yeah,
And it myrtleizes a bunch of kids. dude.
Yes,
yeah,
they killed the
you
kids.
never see that. The kids die in this
Like
movie.
just the sitting there and the afterthought of just in the chair thinking about the fucking just level of this movie. And you're like, that's fucked, man.
And
That
here's
is
what you're
straight
thinking. You're also
fucked.
thinking about the theme, going happy, happy Halloween. It's like,
Well, that
that's
too, yeah.
that's fucked up.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's
Awesome.
time. It's time.
Fuck it.
Time
Well, you
out.
know what? I'm not even gonna add anything on that because I feel like you two boys have said it perfectly to what I want to say where this sits in. I love it. And like Brody said, this is one, it's not in my top 5, but it easily could be in my top 5 for Halloween movies to put on for everybody. to
Yeah.
enjoy.
All right.
So Scuba Steve.
Number 4 for me is Halloween 2.
Ooh, all right.
So it's one of my favorites. I love it, but my top 3, I was biting nails because I didn't know what to pick. But Halloween 2, it's a good solid flick. They introduced the sibling angle. I love that. Like I said before, I love that they introduced that angle. It gives Michael reason to be going after Laurie. It picks up right where the other movie left off. Loomis shot 7 times out of a 6-shooter, which I don't understand, but whatever. Hey.
We don't talk about edits.
Yeah, whatever. But I feel like it's such a great movie. It's such a great follow-up to what we got with the original Halloween movie. I liked Dick Warlock as Michael Myers. He's a lot slimmer, and the walk was a lot different than the original Michael Myers, that Nick Castle did. But I love this movie so much. The mask is it's different enough, but still similar enough to the original mask.
I thought it was the same mask.
The
It
paint
is.
seems, but the paint's a little different.
Well, the
on
paint's
it.
coming off. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see the paint coming off and stuff. So, but I mean, and that's honestly, I have the part 2 mask right here in my room on my Michael Myers animatronic because I hated the fucking plastic mask that was on it.
Yeah.
So I had to do that son of a bitch on there. But yeah, I mean, and that's my pick for number 4, Halloween 2, baby.
Fuck yeah. Mr. Amone. Oh no, you were so good.
Oh, you were so good.
Man.
Not really, man. Shit, so I'm just gonna stay at Halloween 2018.
2018. All right.
So I mean, it's a return to original formula. Okay, yeah. So it's 40 years later. She's traumatic. I like it. I mean, do I think it's 40 years later worthy? But I like the return to form.
Hey, that's
I
fair.
like the idea that Michael got captured after the first movie, and that now it's like he escapes because the bus crashes. He's back. Michael was absolutely phenomenal in this movie. James Jude Courtney is one of my favorite shapes. He was great. He looked great. The kills were great. The ambiance was there. It felt like Halloween. The story, the tone, everything about it. I liked the granddaughter in this one. I liked Jamie Lee's daughter in this one. I don't know. I like every aspect of this movie except for one scene. So that's the only reason why it's like number 4 is the Dr. Sartain scene. That's about it.
Oh, where he
Other-
puts the mask on?
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people didn't like that, and I'm always the weirdo on that. I actually, for some reason, did like that scene.
Well,
I don't know.
you know what? I watched it 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I don't terribly hate this scene, but I still don't like it like to a lot of people do.
That's
So
fair.
that's my only like takeaway from it. I still think it's great. It's a great ending. Like even if you said, okay, this is the final one, we see him in flames. I think it's one of the best Halloween movies, and I stand behind that 1,000,000%. Whatever the story changes is, this series had how many story changes in a few movies? So for me, I don't take it as, oh, you took that aspect out. Yeah, they took a few things out. I still think they did it right with this first one, and I stand behind it, and that's mine. John?
All right, bud. No, actually, like I said, dude, mine was Halloween 3. So, and the boys said it perfectly enough, man. And once again, dude, Tom Askins. Do I have to say more? All right, so moving on to number 3. Man, we are in the top 3 here. All right, Brody, what you got, bud?
Controversial time. Now, coming in at number 3 is the OG. Now, you're probably saying, Brody, for fuck's sake.
I love it.
Wow. I'll tell you what's going on in my head. Not much when I watch this film because it doesn't really capture my attention. It gets a little bit boring at times. I do understand it's a game changer. It changed the face of horror, and without this film, we wouldn't have spawned fucking all these fantastic sequels, or somewhat fantastic sequels. But at the same time, for a person like me that has ADD, you really need to keep me invested into the TV. And like, it is creepy, it's atmospheric, and I'm all for that shit. I love it. And it has everything that I want in a horror film. It just needs a little bit more, even if it's killings or just a little bit more action happening. I'm not here to shit on it. I love the film, but that's why I'm just trying to defend myself as why it sits at number 3.
Wow.
I want to take a second there and give kudos to Brody. That's
balls.
That's a fantabulous hot take, and I love it.
Yeah,
I fucking love it, dude, because he's not the only one, dude. I get bored with watching the original too, man. I can't deny it. I think it's just I've seen too much shit that's too spastic to where that's just too slow down. but no,
that's a pretty hot take.
I like it. I like it. All right, dude. Now I'm really wow. All right, Chad Daddy, number 3.
The funny thing is now he's making me regret my top 2 because I almost had it flip-flopped.
You can still have time.
I still might. So my third pick is Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers.
All right.
It has a lot of great kills. It brought Michael back. It brought Loomis back. It introduced the whole, niece angle, which I love. We only got a little bit of like the psychic connection in this, which was further explored in 5. So it was very minuscule in this. And, it was a fun movie for me. I loved it the first time I saw it. And believe it or not, the second time I saw it, I don't know if you guys remember my buddy Gene Smith that was in the chat on Monday's episode. We had a little Halloween party at his house, and we had a bunch of, teenage girls over there watching it. And it was the first movie we watched. Scared the shit out of them. So mission accomplished. So that always holds a dear place in my heart for because of that. It was a great party. We had a lot of fun. So it's a great film, and it has the best cock tease scene out of the entire series, with easily the best set of knockers also in the entire series.
That's fair.
She had a hell of a set. I might sound like a dirty, disgusting old person, but fuck it. We don't.
Hey, man.
Unapologetically, I love this movie.
There's always those movies that have like there's certain titty scenes that'll just stick with you. Like for me, Predator 2. I don't know why, dude. But it's just, yeah. Even Bob, as soon as I said, he's like, "Damn it, yep." It's for some reason that like
can't argue.
Like, whoa, what's going on here? But, yeah,
it was a total cock tease, but I still love it. So Halloween 4 for me.
Awesome.
Scuba Steve.
Number 3 for me is Halloween 3. I absolutely love that film. I love it. I love that I got to review that film with you guys. I've always had a special place in my heart for this movie. Like we said, granted, Michael Myers isn't in it. He's on the TV, so technically he made a cameo, whatever. But just the premise of this film and bringing in the witchcraft aspect of it, I loved it so much. And, homegirl had daddy issues, sleeping with, Tom Askins.
Mhm.
Big time daddy issues. And I like the whole like android thing too. Like it was just really weird to throw in
Oh,
that.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, to throw in the magic with technology also. That it was just something completely new, completely different than what we had in the first two Halloween movies. And I love this film. I will always love this film. That is why it's my number 3.
Hell
Bobby.
yeah, dude.
Halloween 2. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? We reviewed this movie. We gave it a perfect 5. What do you want me to say?
Did we give number 2 a perfect 5?
Yes, we did.
All right.
I know for a fact we did because we're like
No,
a
that's-
perfect slasher movie at the time.
That's fine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Dick Warlock was one of my favorites. I met him again in the Monster Mania in August. Such a great guy. He played the shape
Was
great.
there, right.
The mask is the original mask. It's just been sitting in a shoebox under a bed of a heavy smoker for a few years. It looks great. He was great. I like the idea of Laurie still running from him, even though she's not in it the whole time. But she's like, I still have to get away. But where am I going to go? I love the hospital kills. Every single one of them. There's not a bad kill in this movie. Loomis gets crazier again. He's still just like, guys,
Bro,
this
he
guy is
offs Ben Schramer
And it has
fucking like 5 minutes in
Yes,
the movie, dude.
But it also, this movie also gave birth to one of the best memes ever. Surprise finger in the butt when he
Yeah.
fucking.
yeah.
And that just showed how strong Michael was.
Like-
He has a scalpel and lifts this bitch out of her shoes.
What was her name, Bob? What was that nurse?
That was Nurse.
Jenny?
No, not Jan. No,
Oh
no.
God, I can't. Oh shit.
If you don't know, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I'll think of it like when you like don't ask, and I'm like, oh, that's it.
There you go. There you go.
That's actually my favorite kill. I love the stalking scene throughout the whole hospital. The way he moves. I don't know what else you want me to say other than I love this movie.
All
It's
right.
my
Hey.
3, so I don't really have much to say other than I love it.
Okay.
Awesome.
John?
So my number 3 is also with Bob. It's Halloween 2, baby. It's a fucking aggressive slasher. It's a perfect sequel in my opinion, dude. Like there's not many movies that are like a great sequel that, I mean, it doesn't have to pick up right after the fact, but the fact that it literally feels like you are just watching one continuous movie, dude.
Mhm.
And I dig it, especially right in the beginning where you start getting the POV first person shots again, dude, down the alleyway and a barking dog and him stealing the knife. And what are they watching? Oh, of course it is public domain fucking Night of
the Living
Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's fantastic, dude. And then it's like he is ruthless as fuck. I would disagree with Bob that the scalpel kill is not my favorite. I personally like the hot tub kill because I think that shit was disgusting and gnarly as fuck. And it was kind of hot because she was sucking on his finger a little bit beforehand.
Yeah.
So, take that as you
What a
want. And that was
sleuth.
a dirty hand too, man. That was all
Yeah.
black and bloody and just covered in grease. And
How did she not know? I mean, you would have tasted the copper immediately.
The first, thank you. That first, like, ugh. What?
Did you put a penny in my mouth? What the fuck?
What the fuck just happened here? But no, man, and I love the ending, dude. The crazy gas explosion and shit that's supposed to take him out. Like, if you didn't give me any of the rest, and I literally was just like, okay, 1 and 2 is that story. Good, done, fine.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Absolutely. I like the blood. I like when Laurie shoots him in the fucking face, dude, and he gets the blood down the eyes.
Yes,
Fuck looks awesome as hell. I mean, it's Cundy once again, dude. How can you, So number 3, dude, Halloween 2 all the way. It's a fantastic movie.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, number 2's Brody.
Rightio, coming in at number 2, Halloween 2. Now, I fucking love this film. I love everything about it. I love it's based at one location. It takes place literally 10 minutes after the fucking events of the first film. And it gives us that, dynamic of like Loomis just running around like a fucking headless chook. It's fucking funny to see. It's very, very gothic, atmospheric about it. It's actually really scary to think that Michael can just glide like this ghostly thing through the fucking hallways of this hospital and just pop out from anywhere and fuck you up in a heartbeat. That scares me. This film scares me because of the fact that Michael could be lurking in the shadows at any corner of this fucking hospital. This big fucking location with the dark corners, he could just be there watching you. Fuck. This film's fucking great. I love everything about it. I really can't see no fucking flaws in it.
All right.
Well, you probably guessed it.
Oh. Okay. So Brody gave us Halloween 2 for his number 2. Chad Daddy.
I was going back and forth, but I'm going to go with what I have written down.
Go with your gut.
That's very, very close. But I agree. Halloween 2 is number 2 for me. I mean, I love the whole shape stalking her through a hospital in the middle of the night. You know, the hospital's abandoned. There's hardly anybody there. And, you know, I'm with John saying that the best kill in this movie and possibly the entire franchise is the hot tub kill.
Dude, it's so
it.
gross.
It's always stuck out in my mind as one of the, and I'll tell you, and the reason I almost picked number 1 is because this is actually the first Halloween movie I remember seeing. And it was playing on one of the local stations, and this would have been like in 1984, I think, when I saw it. And it was the part where Michael's chasing Laurie through, I think it's like the basement of the boiler room or wherever the hell it is. And
yeah.
And that scared the crap out of me. And I just wanted to see more. But I really love this movie. I love the different take on the theme with it being like a more of electronic synthesizer score, which, you know, it was still pretty scary. It was really dope. And it had a lot of great characters. And it had probably the scariest scene in the movie for me. Had nothing to do with Michael, and that was the kid with the razor blade in his mouth.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
You know what's funny?
Talk about some public PSA going on in that.
Yeah, but there's never it never been in the video. There's never been a case of that ever.
Well, everybody's it is a total urban legend. Every kid has heard it. Never happened, but this movie personified it.
Yeah,
made it scary, and it made it believable for everyone.
And they almost didn't want that scene. They were like,
there's only one movie. There's only one movie that did it better.
Trick or Treat.
No.
Night of the Demons.
Yes, sir. That one fucked me up.
See, I don't know, man. I think Trick or Treat got me, dude, because when he was puking out that chocolate, I was like,
oh, dude, that was, oh my God.
Like, that was gross. All right, dude, I'm liking it. Okay. Number 2, Scuba.
Okay, so I'm gonna get some shit for this, and it's
No, you're not.
fine,
No, you're not.
But the OG Halloween is my number 2. Like Brody said, it's kind of boring in some parts. Michael doesn't kill that many people, but it's the introduction to this legendary character. So, I mean, you can't. What can you say about this movie? You know, other than it being boring in some parts, you know, especially if you have ADHD or ADD, it's hard to stay focused. Michael's not in it that long, so what, like 10 minutes that he's in it throughout the whole film?
Not even 10 minutes. It's like 9. It's like, just over 9.
But even the scenes where he's driving the car, just stalking these teenagers, it was creepy as shit. So that's my number 2 pick. Bobby.
My number 2 is Halloween 4.
All right.
I love Halloween 4. I think it's easily one of the best sequels we got. I don't consider it a part of the Thorn trilogy. In fact, I consider it a part of 1, 2, 4, H2O. That is a timeline that makes sense. If you want to go the route that she got killed, we don't know what happens to Jamie if you cut out 5. Fair enough. I loved how, and I'll even say this is an unpopular opinion. I love the Mask of Halloween 4.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, because everybody forgets, like, oh my God, his mask is this. I'm like, guys, it really is the same thing from the first one. It is a William Shatner mask. They just painted it a little different and made it like I don't expect the original mask, because if we're picking up after part 2, it ain't gonna be the OG mask, guys.
No,
it got burned.
got an explosion.
Like everybody forgets that. I think. Danielle Harris was great. Ellie Cornell was. Ben Meeker, Loomis was. I think this is probably Loomis's best performance.
Okay.
And I say that because he's a little more. He's crazy, but he's a little more rational. Because in the original, he's like, no, don't tell anybody. Just go find him. This one, he's like, tell everybody, please. We don't need this shit happening again. Like, everybody needs to know, hide, like, get rid of it. I love Brady's death is my favorite death. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you. No, I'm gonna smack you with a gun. No, I'm just gonna crush your neck. I love that he was stronger. You know, because I feel like after 10 years, coma or not, you're gonna be a little pissed off. So I look at it like he's, you know, the rooftop chase, the whole twist, and everything about this movie I love. I love it. So that's my number 2. I don't really know what else to say other than just go watch it. Yeah, I love it. So that's my number
All
2.
right.
John?
you go.
Right on.
All right, so I'm with the same train as Scuba. My number 2 is the actual original John Carpenter's Halloween. So
Oh shit.
I prepare that
Oh,
this might be
shit.
my last episode ever.
No.
But no, I do love the first one because obviously it's the original. It is what it is, dude. It's paved the way for a lot of shit. It set the series in its pace. However, like Scoob previously mentioned, dude, I have a really hard time staying awake during it now, dude. I've seen it too many times, and it's not too many times to where it doesn't matter how many times I see it. Unfortunately, it does. There's like, dude, I am totally like into it for the first 20 to 25 minutes and the last 20 to 25 minutes. And the rest of it, I could give 2 shits about. Like, I don't know what it is, dude. I just get I'm like, all right, gotta wake up.
And that's
So-
how I am with Friday the
fair.
13th Part 1 and 2.
Same. Not 2 so much. 1, yes. 1, I get sleepy.
No, Part 2
Very
I
much
get
so.
sleepy. I don't know. I don't know if it's the look.
Bro, I
or
just
what,
think
but
about
that's
what's her
just-
name's ass the whole fucking time. It's
Yeah, I mean,
fucking-
it's
Yeah.
good. It's got some good ass
Yeah.
in it, but you know.
It does.
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, hot take. OG John Carpenter's for number 2.
All right, we're down to number 1, baby.
All right, number 1. And then I'm gonna get kicked off the show. All right.
Well, you probably already knew that because I never shut the fuck up about it. But to me, this film is a fucking masterpiece. I mean, yes, look, it has its flaws, all right, but for a slasher film, I fucking love it. I enjoy it. It's got me intrigued. Fucking 9 times out of 10, I'll watch it from start to finish without looking at my fucking phone. I'm there all the fucking way with this film. The opening title sequence and that ambience and the way it looks visually is absolutely fucking stunning. It's probably the best I've ever fucking seen in any other film, for me personally. To the end credits rolling, this film is paced absolutely extremely well. Introducing new characters and their character developments and their arcs throughout this whole entire film. I'm invested. I love these characters. They set us up with the characters in the first 10 minutes, especially little Janie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris. I mean, my God, she was fucking outshining some of the actors in this fucking film. And she was only a youngin', and it was absolutely fantastic to see. Michael Myers in this, I'm one of the few that loves visual representation of Myers in his mask. I love it. And it really adds that creep factor to his overall presence in the way he's portrayed. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It intimidates me. It's scary. If I ever come face to face with this Myers, I'd probably fucking poo my pants and then I'd be dead. And then not only that, you know, you got Loomis running around and, you know, a lot is happening throughout this film to keep my attention going. It's fucking fast paced. It's got some fucking awesome shit happening in this film. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. Go and fucking see it. But in saying that, yeah, fantastic fucking film. Like I said, I think it's like one of the best fucking, if not the best fucking slasher film of all time. My personal opinion only. Take it with a grain of salt. And that's it. Kills in this, I forgot to say, the kills in this are pretty fucking cool too. It's fucking creative shit. So anywho, this is DKB signing out. I thank you guys for having or letting me have my 2 fucking cents on this.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
buddy.
it was a bit of a lengthy
Absolutely.
video.
No,
I
it
wish I
wasn't.
could have been there
Perfect.
to do this with you. The time zones and work and all that fucking garbage. But yeah, once again, thanks for having me on to talk shit about the Halloween franchise and give you my little 2 cents on it. DKB signing out, and I'll catch you motherfuckers next week.
Love you, Brody.
And I'm
So
leaving
he said
him there
hi-
Yeah,
because
we love you,
I'm
man.
leaving him there
he-
because he's been here the whole time. So he's not
Yes.
going away yet.
He said Halloween 4, right?
Yes, he
He
did.
said Halloween 4
Okay.
was his top, dude. And you know what? I feel like we all knew that was going to happen.
Yes.
I knew that was.
I
gonna
knew
happen.
that
I
was
feel
gonna
we all knew that
happen.
was gonna- Yeah. All right. Here we go. Number 1, Chad.
I
Daddy.
guess, and first off, I want to say I love how we decided to do this format where
Yes.
we let him talk,
Yeah.
and then we
Yes.
talk. It's like he's part of the entire show this way. And
It
it's,
does, and it feels
I-
very. It feels very.
It feels
natural.
genuine.
yeah, and it flowed so well too.
I agree.
And
Awesome.
and also I love the passion that he has for Halloween 4 there. You know,
I do.
That's
I
my
admire,
guy.
admire that greatly.
That fire.
But obviously, my pick for number one is the original. And I know you guys say it bogs down, it gets a little boring, but for me, that it works because it's set up. You know, 2/3 of the
Yeah.
movie is set up for the finale, and it works. You know, it's very suspenseful because the music. And I remember John Carpenter saying when he showed this to the production company, and originally it didn't even have the score, and nobody was scared. They're like, "I don't get it. It's not scary." And then he added the score, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" You know, the
The
score.
score definitely can make or break for sure.
Yes, and for this,
Yes.
it definitely makes it. You know, there's a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
great, and again, this is one of the best slashes of all time, and there's hardly a drop of blood in it.
Yep.
100%.
There's hardly it's either implied or it's off screen. You know,
Yep.
it's just done so well.
You know what the best part always was too, and I can only speak for myself, like watching this as a kid when it came on TV every time. I always loved when they did the body exposure at the end because obviously you always get a little bit of side boobage, but there was always that like blur spot. Like they always had it. So you're just like,
Yeah.
ooh, titty. But hell yeah.
But yeah,
dude. Absolutely, man.
it's hard to say anything bad about this. I get where you guys are coming from, but I disagree. I think the setup is fantastic, and of course, you know, we only have two people to thank for that: Carpenter and Kunde.
Kunde. Yeah, Chad. I mean, it was hard. It was
It was.
hard.
And
It's
like I
really
said,
hard to
I
really
like
sit
you
down and
said,
think about it.
I so close to putting two as first, but you know, these two, if I could make them tie for first place, I would.
That's fair.
I mean, they are the same night.
They are.
Right. That is. All righty. Scuba Steve, you're number one, buddy.
All right. So I don't give a shit what anybody says. This is my list. This is me. And my favorite, you can go fuck yourself, is Rob Zombie's Halloween. I
Nah.
fucking love that movie. I loved the fucking white trash aspect of it. I love the soundtrack. I love how fucking brutal it was. I love that Michael was this fucking huge, unstoppable fucking monster. I mean, the brutality as a kid, watching him kill that fucking kid that was talking shit about his mom,
Yeah, dude.
and
Just
finally
beat the
just
shit out of him
fucking
with a
just
branch.
beating the fuck out of him with a branch, knowing that he was already kind of crazy with, did he kill that cat? Did he kill it, or was it roadkill that he picked up? We don't fucking know.
Oh, he
But
killed the cat.
I know he did.
Oh,
but
he
I'm
definitely
just saying,
killed
we
the
don't know. But I loved that because it made it more real. And there was reason behind all of it. And I love the fact that when we're introduced to the sibling angle from it, he's not trying to harm Lori. He's trying, you know, I always felt like he was trying to say, hey, it's me.
Yeah,
I'm your
like he was
brother.
trying to reconnect to her.
Exactly. And she didn't ever, I mean, because she didn't fucking know. So, of course, things went the way they went. But I just love that film so much. Anybody that says they love Halloween Kills but hate Rob Zombie's Halloween, I feel you're being hypocritical because you hate Rob Zombie's Halloween because, oh, that's not the shape. Michael wouldn't be brutal like that. Michael wouldn't do that. He wouldn't move like that. But he does that shit in Halloween Kills. At
Yeah,
the end
he
scene when he
does.
fucking brutalizes everybody. What's the difference? The difference is that you guys hate Rob Zombie. It's not that
Yeah.
you don't like his movie. You hate Rob Zombie. This is a fucking solid fucking movie. I will put this bitch on and watch it on repeat over and over and over. The music is so good. It's that, especially when they're in, you know, when he's a kid and seeing that his mom was this dirty fucking stripper, and you know, it all leads, and how shitty his fucking stepdad was to him. I loved it when he just fucking duct taped that son of a bitch.
You
and
know
fucking
what's
slit his
sad,
throat.
dude? Is like, and maybe this is why I also enjoy it, but like, I unfortunately know kids that kind of grew up in environments like that. Dude.
Yeah,
Not exactly, but just with shitty fucking parents or
Yeah.
step parents or whatever. Like, woo.
And it makes it more real. It gives reason behind the madness, and I loved it. And I love Loomis in this one because he's caring, but he also tries not to cross that patient doctor barrier at first. You know, he wants to be Michael's friend, but then he knows he can't reach Michael, especially after Michael shuts down. And I love how it's not just an automatic shutdown. He just it's progression of him not wanting to talk anymore. And we see that this kid is just shutting down and shutting down and shutting down. Did he really remember not killing his sister? Or was something else in him that took over that made him kill his sister? You know? So
Right.
number one for me. Like I said, it's a hot fucking take. I don't give a shit. I love that fucking movie, and I will die on that fucking hill.
Yeah. Hey,
Bobby.
that's all good, buddy.
Nothing
Bobby.
wrong.
I mean, I think we know.
I thought we were looking at Chad's ass for a second. I was like, what have we done there?
I think my camera's about to die, so I'm trying out the other one. Like it keeps flashing on the screen like that. I don't know.
Oh, really? Interesting. All right. Bobby, number one pick what?
I think we know the original. And I love a lot of these movies. Obviously, some of them in my top 5: Rob Zombie's Kills and H2, Halloween 4. The original it's not just the setup; it's the simplicity. This is the movie that can happen anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't have to happen in Haddonfield. You're right.
We know it's a master. And he found this girl. I'm going to stalk her. This is what I'm doing. I've watched it I don't know how many times. To the screen, and I know what happens. That's for me. Same thing with any of my top 5 or top 6 as my inner. I'm on the screen. It's the screen for me. I'll watch. That's a time. That is John.
All right, number one. All right, so this is where I die on the hill with Scoops, and I say my top one. But yep, that is Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I know if Boss Man was right here, he'd be fucking burning me with his eyes through the screen. I understand, but I don't give a shit. Like Scoop says, this is my fucking list.
Yeah.
And here's what it comes down to, man. It holds my attention. It's brutal as fuck. I enjoyed the different dynamic. I totally get the argument of why people do not like it too, because it was 100% different than the original. And if it works for you, it does. And if it doesn't, that's cool too, man. Like I'm not here, but for me personally, man, I remember seeing that shit. I couldn't get the theaters to see it, but I saw it when it was leaked online, and there was like some old streaming site back in the fucking day. And dude, I watched that shit probably like 15 times in like 4 days, man. I was in love with that movie, dude. And like I said, dude, he legitimately put like fear into me. Like I've always kind of had like, I could always understand like why I would be like afraid of Jason or something, because Jason's the immovable force. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing you're going to do in that situation. Michael, you always feel like you might have a chance, even though we know you don't.
Oh no, we do now. Now we have a chance.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, according to ends, we do.
Okay, that's fine. That's true. We just gotta be a little pissed off.
Yeah.
I feel like in that case, dude, if we're talking like school bullies and like what they're dealing with, dude, I'm just saying like Rob Zombie Young Myers would still beat the shit out of Corey.
Oh, he would have beat the shit out of the he would have fucking
Corey would be
murdered
dead.
Corey. Yeah.
He would have been in the woods with the fucking stick on top of him with that other fucking kid, dude. Like, but no, man, it's just, and I like like what Steve was saying, the progression of him essentially losing his voice. I loved that as he was losing that character, he was gaining like a different character through all these masks. I love the weird fucking like just paper mask and shit, bro. It gives me, I just fucking dig it. Like I've always wanted to make a haunted house with just that, like his room with just all those masks over. Because I made
cool. I made
the orange one.
Yeah, the orange one.
My buddy did that too.
Yeah,
he did. Because my buddy did the Psych Morgue Myers, which is awesome because nobody really does that one. So it's like, and it's such a different, like, it's technically Myers, but it's just obviously like so viscerally different, just looking wise. But that scene alone, when they're bringing him down, and Loomis is just like, "Yeah, I'm done. This is like 15 years too long." Like when they bring like Tyler Mane down that fucking hall, man, he is just
massive.
He's imposing, dude. Like the dude's what, 6'6"?
No, he's 6'9", dude.
Yeah. Oh, so Jesus, fuck, dude. Like,
he was the first Michael I ever met.
None of us would stand a chance against that version of Myers.
And I almost want to say like this one, even though it might have not have been a unknown evil or an unsourced evil in this, dude, he was still evil as fuck, man. I mean, he fucking killed off Trejo, and Trejo is like one of the best
Trejo's his friend.
Man. Like, that's a sad scene, dude.
Yeah,
that's sad fuck. In both versions, whether you watch theatrical or fucking director's cut, dude,
it's sad.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, and that just goes to prove like how fucked he is at that point, dude. Like how in his own barrier he is, and it doesn't matter. Like nothing's gonna stop him. And yeah, man, it's just that shit. I could put it on every year. It doesn't have to be Halloween. I'll still be like, yeah, fucking let's watch it, dude.
See, and
But-
this one, it's more of a mental than a supernatural. for
Yeah,
this movie.
absolutely.
And that's another reason that people hated it. Oh, well, you took away the supernatural aspect, blah blah blah. Okay, so what? Tell me about the new trilogy. Did you like that? Because you did, right? So
And
Yeah.
And
Especially
I don't
especially
know-
with the ends.
I don't know why I quote it all the time, man, but it's still a line that I quote to this day. But it's "I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch."
I'm
And
Joe
I
Grizzly,
fucking-
bitch.
Oh my
I
God,
fucking
yes.
love that scene, dude. Because actually, Tyler Mane just talks about it in the last.
Yes, he did.
Talk
I
Scared
listened
Me
to it today.
podcast.
Yeah.
But when he's destroying the fucking stall with his arm, dude, like that was Tyler Mane just doing that with his own body, and he was trying to like brace his arm in his own impact, dude. So he was just, and that was a legit stall at a gas station. They
Yeah.
just went and
Oh shit.
fucked that shit
Like-
up, dude. And
Like,
I'm like,
Rob
damn.
Rob Zombie said, "Yo, this is nice. That's nice fake stuff." And they're like, "No, you got to replace that."
Which they were laughing because I guess he left fucking Grizzly there
Yeah.
on, like, they left him dead on the floor and they didn't tell him. They wrapped up the shot, so they just let him sitting in a pile of blood for like 10 extra fucking minutes just to see what he would fucking do. But no, man, I guess that, dude, the movie just it's I feel it's my extreme that I need in order to like it,
Yeah.
it hits everything I want. It still gives me the OG Halloween story essentially in the last half of the movie, and then I get all this crazy shit of like a kid just getting fucked up completely in the first half, which Chad, I understand you said it's not your take, and I know a lot of people like that. I accept that. I dig it though. I don't know why I dig it. Maybe I'm a little fucked up in the head, and so that's why I was like, I can relate to this.
High five, buddy. High five.
Yeah. I feel maybe that's closer to what it is, but yeah, dude, I like Dirty Myers. I like Zombie Myers, and it was tough. This was the toughest one for me to decide between this and the OG because, dude, the OG is the OG. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't even have Zombie Myers if it wasn't for the OG. So
I switched them at the last minute because I thought about it, and I initially I wanted to put Rob Zombie's Halloween at number 1, but I was like, nah, it's gonna piss people off. And then I said, fuck it, this is my fucking list. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
your
to
list.
fucking lie.
when we were talking about it today, when I was at work and I was saying I was having trouble, not that you
That's
can
what
see
it was.
I had the
Oh,
arrow
God.
there with the question mark. I'm like, do I do it? I don't know. Do I take the bullet? Like, and then like Chad said, gotta be honest with yourself. And it was, dude. That's the one. And dude, like I said, dude, the 1-2 fight, it's a hard fight. Like you could easily just be like, hey, watch these. I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. What do you pick now? Like, you know what I mean? I'd be fine with that. But yeah, so that was our Halloween ranking, gentlemen. Fucking congratulations. We
Yes,
did our
yes,
first long ass ranking. Thank you, Brody.
Yes, thank you.
We got a little over 2 hours, so that's not too bad. We were actually a little
Yeah,
over
this
what
one
our time
this
is.
went a lot longer than I thought it would be. I don't even think we're gonna have
Yeah.
time to do our other segment.
Nope,
No,
I'm
I-
like,
this
I'm
was
like
all-
getting sleepy. I no dinner and I gotta go to bed.
Hey, I'm right there with you, buddy. No,
I
think
gotta go
this
to
is a
work
perfect
in
amount.
45 minutes.
Oh damn!
Oh damn!
No nap
Jesus
for old
Christ.
Scoob.
No, Chad, I think this is perfect. Like I feel like this filled up the great amount
Oh,
of
yeah,
time.
this-
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
I was really worried that it wouldn't, and I'm very happy it did. So I got no complaints. I'd call this episode a huge success, and I hope the fans enjoy listening to this as much as we
Yes!
enjoyed recording.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, this was a fun one. It was.
This was.
Not that I don't love. I mean, yeah, we did review movies, obviously, but we've never done this.
No,
This
this
is
is
just
the
like-
first.
And this is actually took a little sit down time for everybody, and even
Absolutely.
I think everybody second guessed themselves a little bit once we got talking. I mean, dude, it was good shit, and I even got some other friends to start thinking about this just because I had to think about it. I reached out to them. I'm like, yo, man, I got to do this today. I'm like, what would you guys do? Just to hear their takes. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
some people really love that new trilogy. Some people don't, man. You know, that's how it goes.
Just
That's
not my
life.
bag, baby. Just not
No.
my bag.
All right,
Love
so we're gonna wrap this shit up. What are we covering next week, by the way?
Okay, our next episode is supposed to be. Let me pull it up. The Devil's Backbone.
Fuck yeah, that's my fucking pick.
Is it?
Oh
Baby.
boy, Steve's getting it on.
Oh,
Is that,
2001 film?
Huh?
2001 film?
Yes, sir.
Del
It's
Toro.
got-
Del
it's
Toro.
on
Okay,
Voodoo,
that's what I'm thinking of then.
YouTube. It's all right.
okay.
So, it's on HBO Max. Boom.
I have
Perfect.
not seen it.
perfect.
Nice.
I have not seen it in years.
The
But
Devil's
that
Backbone. Never even
that movie
heard
is
of
one of my I love that fucking movie. It's got one scene in it that still fucking creeps me out to this day.
I dig
I'm
it.
not gonna say what it is.
I know
it?
as far as Del Toro's films, this one is ranked very high.
Yeah,
Is this a period piece?
I've never seen it, so I'm ready.
it is.
Interesting.
It takes place during one of the wars in Mexico.
It
I don't
says the
remember
Spanish
which war.
Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. I'm excited. I've never even fucking heard of this, dude. That's awesome. All right.
It's got subtitles, so prepare
That's
to
fine
read.
with me,
but
dude.
it's
All right.
good. It's fucking
I'm done
great.
with that. So obviously, this is our last October episode. So happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Yes,
Happy
happy
Halloween.
Halloween, everyone. Enjoy.
Yes. So Scoob, you want to start us off with our sign off, bud?
As always, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, the ghost daddy himself, Lord Scuba Cabra, saying, happy Halloween, trick or treat, motherfuckers. Smell my motherfucking feet.
Yeah. This is your Dark Lord of Knowledge, your Chad Daddy, saying happy Halloween, bitches. And we'll see you next time for The Devil's Backbone.
Woo-hoo.
This is your killing machine, Bobby Moon, saying happy Halloween. Get plenty of candy and get plenty of ass if that's your thing as well on Halloween. And enjoy it. Have a good one.
Yeah. And this is your Fluff Master Supreme wishing you happy Halloween. Enjoy your holiday. Check your treats and eat all the Snickers on your kids. On that note, adios, Gorehounds.
Later, bitches.
And
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
How could you forget?
Stay fresh, cheese bag.
Penis!
Penis.